Okay, so good evening, everybody. So let's begin our session. So before I begin, let's focus on the agenda. Yes. So yesterday was March 1st, and we focused on introduction to SEM, CB-SEM, PLS-SEM, considerations for using PLS-SEM in social science research. In fact, we will be discussing this even today. In fact, yesterday I was talking about measurements, SEM, when to use SEM, and all those stuff. But today we'll see that how PLS-SEM is different from CB-SEM and what are the considerations for using PLS-SEM. Then secondly, yesterday we talked about model building and formative constructs, reflective constructs, the difference between the two, and all those things. But yesterday's discussion was not over, so let's carry forward the discussion of from where we left yesterday, and later on we'll focus on day two. So day two is reserved for hands-on practice in R and R Studio. I presume that you have downloaded R and R Studio in your machine. The link has been sent to you. It's just by the click of the button you can download the software. It's a very powerful software which you can install in your machine for free, and you need not pay even a single penny for installing R and R Studio. So let me take you to my PPT. So yesterday we started with structural equation modeling. Yes. And I said that whenever you are working with latent constructs, when I say latent constructs are those constructs which cannot be measured directly. So latent constructs are always measured using certain variables which are observed in nature. So observed variables, we also describe them as manifest variables or indicators. So whenever you are working with a latent construct, it is advisable to use structural equation modeling. By the way, SEM is considered to be a second generation statistics. As far as first generation statistics is concerned, we basically use all parametric test and non-parametric test, correlation, regression, ANOVA, ANCOVA, and all those things. But when I talk about SEM, it is a second generation statistics. In SEM, you can model multiple independent variable as well as multiple dependent variable. If you focus on the standard regression, in a standard regression, whether it is a simple linear regression or a multiple linear regression, there is only one dependent variable, and there could be more than one independent variables. But you can't have two dependent variables, particularly in a multiple linear regression. So multiple linear regression, or for that matter, simple linear regressions, they had lot many constraints. But when you talk about SEM, you can model multiple dependent variables in SEM. So that makes SEM very, very interesting. Yes. Okay. So again, let me go for the slideshow. So yesterday we were discussing that how SEM came into picture. So the origin of SEM goes back to 1904, when a technique called factor analysis was designed in order to check the underlying factor structure among the measured variables. So Charles Spearman is credited for bringing out factor analysis, and factor analysis is very popular in social science research. Yes. Okay. Then again, we talk about Spearman's intelligence theories, and again, I'm not discussing too much because yesterday we did discuss about it, and it's there in the video. You can definitely go and reflect on it. And yeah, but major fillip to SEM got in or major boost for SEM was given in the year 1970, when Carl Joreskog he made seminal contribution to SEM, and he came out with the covariance structure modeling. Yes, and later on, when software packages like Lizrel, Amos, EQS, and M Plus came, particularly when Lizrel as a software came, so everybody started using SEM for their analytics. And of late, people use Amos for CB-SEM. And now things are easily available, or you can easily perform complex model testing by simply dragging and dropping a method. You simply drag and drop in the Amos, or let's say in Smart PLS-4, and you can easily get the output. So things are pretty easy. So that's why SEM is gaining, or SEM has gained immense popularity. has gained immense popularity. And of late, PLS-SEM is even more popular than CB-SEM. Of late, if you try to focus on some good journals, people are heavily using PLS-SEM. And now CB-SEM it is important, but PLS-SEM is more popular than CB-SEM now. Yes, and thanks to Smart PLS-4 software. Now, Smart PLS-4 software is designed in such a way that it can handle both the approaches to SEM, either CB-SEM or PLS-SEM. Both can be handled. So, but now again, as I said, that SEM is very popular. You can model complex relationships. You can test theories. You can test the measurement model. You can test the structural model. All those stuff. So we'll definitely be seeing it in the tomorrow session, that how to run SEM with a live data, with a live data. Yes. Okay. Now, if I talk about Mr. Tushar, please mute yourself. Just a request.
Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So now SEM is heavily used in almost all social sciences, be it psychology, economics, marketing, finance, biology, everywhere. SEM is popularly used, and people try to understand the relationship between variables, or they try to understand the cause and effect between the variables. Yes. Again, now here is the important part of the discussion. Yeah, yesterday we spoke up to line number, or let's say para number 3. Now, to put it simply, SEM is nothing but a combination of psychometrics and econometrics. Yes. So if you have to, let's say, sum up SEM in few words, so you will say SEM is equal to psychometrics plus econometrics. Yes. Now, when I say psychometrics, this is your measurement theory testing. This is your measurement theory testing, and econometrics is your multiple linear regression. So let me use a Microsoft whiteboard so that you understand things pretty in a pretty clear manner. Yes. So what it says, that when I say SEM, okay, let me slightly zoom it. Just a second. So when I say SEM is psychometrics plus econometrics. Now, again, when I say psychometrics, this is your measurement, or let's say it's your theory testing. It's a measurement theory testing. Let's say it's your measurement theory testing, and econometrics is your multiple linear regression. Multiple linear regression. SEM is essentially a regression technique. Yes. And again, when I talk about measurement theory testing, this is nothing but your CFA. That is confirmatory factor analysis. So whenever you use CFA, yes, CFA is part of psychometrics. Yes. And here CFA plus multiple linear regression. Now, why do people run CFA? Now, please understand, there is a term called construct validity. There is a term called construct validity. So yesterday we were talking about construct validity. Now, what is construct validity? Let's say you have operationalized a construct in your study. Now you want to check whether have you measured what you intend to measure. So validity always has to do with accuracy. Means what are you measuring, what you intend to measure, or you're measuring something else? Now you may be using standard scales, but have people who are answering those scales, or people who are answering the items of the scale, have they understood correctly? So for that, you need to run a CFA. And please note this, that whenever you use standard scales or established scales from the literature, you cannot run EFA. You cannot run EFA when you use a standard scale. It is crime to use EFA on somebody else's scale. If you are developing a scale, or let's say if you are adding some items, or if you are bringing some new items in your scale, then it is fine to run EFA and then do CFA. But let's say if you are using somebody else's scale, then in that case, you should never run EFA. You should only run CFA. So CFA is basically done to check, is basically done to check whether your constructs are valid or not. When I say construct validity, here we essentially focus on two things. One is your convergent validity. Just remember yesterday's class, we talk about convergent validity. Yes. And secondly, we talk about discriminant validity. We talk about discriminant validity. Now, again, see, validity is there for reflective constructs also, and validity is there for formative constructs also. Now, when I say reflective constructs, it means the construct is causing the indicator variable. When construct is causing the indicator variable, that is known as reflective construct. So in a reflectively measured construct, you need to check convergent validity. Convergent validity means there should be very high correlation between the items of the construct. Definitely. In reflective constructs, it is the construct which is causing the item. So definitely there has to be a very high correlation between the items of a reflective construct. And when I say discriminant validity, it means whenever you are using two constructs, three constructs, or four constructs in your study, and people should understand it differently. It means the construct should be unique. People should not see all the constructs as same. When people have seen all the constructs as same, then in that case, discriminant validity is violated. So CFA is essentially done to check two validity. One is your convergent validity, and second is your discriminant validity. And second is your multiple regression. Second is your MLR is basically econometrics. Means you MLR, you are simply checking the relationship between the constructs. So SEM is nothing but it is psychometrics plus econometrics. When I say psychometrics, it is your CFA, and when I say econometrics, it is your multiple linear regression. So please bear this in mind. SEM is combination of psychometrics and econometrics. Okay. So this is how I have written an equation. SEM is equal to psychometrics plus econometrics. And again, what is psychometrics? It is your CFA, and CFA is usually done to check convergent validity and discriminant validity. So we will definitely talk about convergent validity and discriminant validity in detail. There are standard measures available, or there are standard metrics available. Now, just to inform you in a very, very simple way, now to check convergent validity, we check two statistics. One is your AVE, that is average variance extracted, and second is your composite reliability. So there are thresholds. If AVE is above the threshold, you say convergent validity is established. If composite reliability is above the threshold, you say convergent validity is established. So AVE should be greater than or equal to 0.50, and composite reliability should be greater than equal to 0.70. So there are standard metrics available. We see that, and software will give you the output. You can easily make it out. Not a big deal, not a rocket science. Convergent validity. And when I talk about discriminant validity, there are standard metrics available. So one is your Forner and Lacker criteria, and second is your HTMT, heterotrait monotrait ratio of correlations. So definitely CFA is done to check convergent validity and discriminant validity. Just be clear on this. And secondly, when I say econometrics is nothing but you are running a multiple regression. You are running a multiple regression. So this is pretty simple. Now let us proceed further. Now when I say approaches to SEM, so there are two approaches to SEM. So one is your CB-SEM, that is covariance based SEM, and second is your PLS-SEM, that is partial least square structure equation modeling. Now please understand what's the difference between these two SEMs. Now the difference is of algorithm. The difference is of algorithm which the software uses. Now in CB-SEM, the algorithm is MLE method. The algorithm is MLE method. Now when I say MLE method, it is maximum likelihood estimation. And in PLS-SEM, the algorithm is partial least square. So the difference is of algorithm, that CB-SEM uses MLE method and PLS-SEM uses partial least square algorithm. And again, the second difference is that how you estimate the latent construct. So CB-SEM has a unique way of estimating the latent construct, and PLS-SEM has a unique way of estimating the latent constructs. In fact, there was a big fight in some 2011 and 2012, where authors like Ronco and Everman, they criticized PLS-SEM and they said, "ये तो SEM है ही नहीं है." Ronco and Everman, I'll show you that paper also. It is there in the slide. So in 2011 and 12, a big war happened between the users of CB-SEM and the users of PLS-SEM, and that war was ignited by Ronco and Everman. So there were two authors, Ronco and Everman. They challenged the methodology that PLS-SEM uses in order to estimate the latent construct, and they said that PLS-SEM is bogus, it is nonsense, and its usage should be stopped unless the developers answer our queries which we have raised about PLS-SEM. So they criticize PLS-SEM like anything, and they said this is neither structure equation modeling and this is neither regression. They criticize it like anything. Then developers of PLS-SEM, they came out with the paper and they refuted all the allegations of Ronco and Everman. And in fact, today PLS-SEM is so popular that it has surpassed CB-SEM as far as the popularity is concerned. So we'll see those two papers, Ronco and Everman paper and paper by all the bigwigs of management research. We'll definitely see those paper. It is there in the coming slide. So there are two approaches to SEM. One is your CB-SEM and second is your PLS-SEM. Now again, pay attention. Now when you are using CB-SEM, there is a concept of model fit. In CB-SEM, there is a concept called model fit. So you run a CFA, then you talk about model fit. You run a structural model, then you talk about model fit. Yes. So there are standard metrics available like goodness of fit and badness of fit, RMSEA, SRMR. So these are some of the technical stats that are there, but not a big deal. There are thresholds. But when I talk about PLS-SEM, if you are using PLS-SEM, you are actually not talking about model fit because model fit is not a characteristic of PLS-SEM. The purpose of PLS-SEM is to maximize the variance explained in the endogenous construct. So let me make it de-technical, or let me put it very simply. PLS-SEM is nothing but regression. And what regression does, it uses independent variable and tries to explain maximum variance in the dependent variable. So PLS-SEM uses the logic of regression. It uses independent variable and tries to predict more, or rather tries to explain the endogenous construct or the dependent variable, or you call it a predicted variable. So CB-SEM, there is a concept of model fit, but in PLS-SEM, there is no concept called model fit. However, of late, Professor Hensler and his colleagues, they are working, and even they have come about, they are talking about model fit in PLS-SEM, but that science is not that advanced. So you should not use PLS-SEM if your goal is to check the model fit. So now there are literature available which guides you that when to use CB-SEM and when to use PLS-SEM. However, of late, both the methods of SEM are complementary. When I say complementary, it means you can use them interchangeably. You can use them interchangeably, and this is how authors are doing in most of the publications that are coming. But of course, whenever you read papers where PLS-SEM has been applied, there people write one paragraph as to why they are using PLS-SEM, and such reporting you will never find in papers where people have used CB-SEM. So whenever you are reading a paper where PLS-SEM has been applied as a statistical tool, there you will find that researchers write one paragraph as to why they are using PLS-SEM, and some of the logic that they give for using PLS-SEM is that they have a limited sample size. Second, multivariate normality assumptions is violated. Third, the relationship among the constructs is very, very complex. So people, or let's say they say there were formative constructs in a model. And fifth, People say that there is some single item measure in our model. So people give arguments in their paper as to why they are using PLS-SEM. So I'll show you a couple of A-star paper where where researchers have used PLS-SEM, and they have written one paragraph in defense of PLS-SEM as to why they went ahead for using PLS-SEM and why they didn't use CB-SEM. So we'll see all those discussions later on. So again, the purpose of CB-SEM is to confirm or reject theories and their underlying hypothesis. Now, see, CB-SEM, what CB-SEM does. Now, whenever you specify a model, again, this is a theory lecture. Friends, please be there with me. And once I show you the working of R, things will become very clear for you. As of now, I do understand that most of your research scholars and perhaps some of you might be learning this for the first time. So don't panic and don't be anxious. Even if you don't understand, just relax, just flow with the flow. When we will be tomorrow, when we will be performing the operations, so things will become pretty clear. And even today, in the just half an hour later, when we will be using R, again you will understand everything. But there are certain theory associated with both the methods of SEM. You should be mindful of these theories so that you become conceptually strong when you write your papers or when you defend your analysis. So please understand what is CB-SEM. Again, I said CB-SEM relies on the concept of model fit. So there are model fit indices in CB-SEM. So there is something which is known as goodness of fit, and there is something known as badness of fit. So in goodness of fit, we definitely report goodness of fit indices, confirmatory fit indices, or NFI, TLI, Tucker-Lewis index. There are so many other indices which are there. And in badness of fit, we usually report RMSEA and SRMR. So CB-SEM has a concept called model fit. Now, please understand what is model fit. Now, whenever you use CB-SEM, so first step, what you do, you specify a model. You draw a model. Let's say it's a mediation model. A leads to B and B leads to C. So there is a direct effect and there is an indirect effect. So whenever you specify a model in CB-SEM, SEM considers that to be a true model. It considers it's to be a true model. Then it uses a data set and creates a covariance matrix. It creates a covariance matrix. And so it essentially what CB-SEM does. So one model which you have specified, it considers to be a true model. And second, it uses your data set and then tries to compare two covariances matrix. So the model that you have specified, it will have a covariance metric, and the model that you have run using the data set, it will have a covariance matrix. So what CB-SEM does, it tries to reduce the differences between the two metrics, and it says that yes, okay, you are having a model fit. Okay, so again, this is how the operation of CB-SEM is. Even if you don't understand, relax. But when I talk about PLS-SEM, it is a causal predictive approach to SEM. Again, it is a very big statement to make. In fact, people criticize PLS-SEM. Causal predictive means you are explaining the cause and effect. See, again, yesterday when I started my session, I said cross-sectional studies normally don't capture or don't say too much about the impact of one variable on the other. Now, all research scholars, faculty members, please be mindful. Don't use the term impact so loosely. That's why I said yesterday that experiments are one of the best way of performing a research, because in experiments you can control a particular variable and understand the impact of a variable on the control group and the treatment group. But here people say that SEM is a causal predictive approach, means you are explaining the cause and effect between the two variables. But let's say if you have measured all your variables at one point in time using a cross-sectional data, then you can't say that A is causing B or A is impacting B. It is a very tall claim to make. And if you make it, your papers will be rejected, citing that how can you say that A leads to B when both the variables are measured at the same point. So people say, though people say that PLS-SEM is a causal predictive approach to SEM, but it is a very tall statement to make. One should desist making it unless we have collected variables at different time periods or using time series data or for that matter, longitudinal data. Then only you can say it's a causal predictive approach to SEM. And what is the goal of PLS-SEM? It focuses on explaining the variance in the model's dependent variable. What PLS-SEM does, it tries to explain the dependent variable. It tries to maximize the R square, or for that matter, coefficient of determination. But again, it's a very vague statement. It is a very vague statement. See, R square per se, it has no value. R square. Now, when you run multiple regression, you talk about R square. Now, R square per se has no value. R square is always see, as you increase the independent variables in your model, your R square will tend to shoot up. Yes. So R square per se tells nothing. And now people use R square as a model fit indices, which is absolutely wrong. So for this particular statement, when developers say that PLS-SEM is a causal predictive approach and it focuses on maximizing the variance in the model's dependent variable, it is heavily criticized. People say simply by looking at R square, you can't say that you are explaining more about the dependent variable. Yes. Now, in order to overcome these limitations, the developers of PLS-SEM, they have come. Now they talk about Q-square statistics, or for that matter, PLS predict process, where they divide the original sample into a training sample and a holdout sample. So they perform the analysis on the training sample and they do the prediction of the holdout sample. So that there are limitations associated with PLS-SEM, though they have made a claim. But if you use this claim in your research write-up and then you say, yes, I'm doing the causal predictive approach, or I'm trying to explain more by using the independent variable, people will not take you seriously. These are sweeping statements or very tall statements to make, unless your research method, or for that matter, your research design in such a way where you are truly making what you call as causal predictive inferences with your data. So again, very important, guys. Sorry, friends. Please pay attention that the fundamental difference or the divide between CB-SEM and PLS-SEM, it is in the estimation of the latent variables in the structural model. See, you specify a model. Model is there in CB-SEM also and PLS-SEM also. But as I said, that how you estimate the latent construct. So in CB-SEM, there is a method of estimating the latent construct. In PLS-SEM, there is a method of estimating the latent construct. So how you estimate the latent construct, the fight is in that only. The fight was in that only. In fact, as of now, there is no such fight. All issues are at rest now. So earlier the fight was that people criticize that in PLS-SEM, the way the developers estimate the latent constructs, people said it is wrong. Yes. So how you estimate the latent construct? Again, you don't do this. It is done by the software, or it is done by the algorithm. As I said, CB-SEM uses MLE method and PLS-SEM uses PLS algorithm. Yes. So both the methods have their unique way of estimating the latent constructs, and later on it's just a regression. It's just a regression. Okay. So now again, let's come to the main part. Actually, it should have got over yesterday, but somehow we could not complete it, but definitely we'll complete today. So PLS-SEM, please note this. It was developed by Swedish econometrician Herman Wold. See again, Joreskov, who developed Lisrael, or for that matter CB-SEM, he was a psychologist. So he came out with CB-SEM. And Herman Wold, he was an econometrician. So he came out with PLS-SEM. PLS-SEM is nothing but regression. It is nothing but regression. And if you talk to any econometrician, or if you attend any class of econometrician, they understand the nuances of regression in detail. So again, PLS-SEM was developed in 1975. Again, in 1970s, CB-SEM came. Yes, so CB-SEM and PLS-SEM almost have a similar start, or a same start, but the technique of estimating is slightly different. Now, again, very important, friends. Now, please pay attention. Please pay attention. Now, when I say PLS-SEM, it is a non-parametric approach to SEM. See, when I say CB-SEM is a parametric approach to SEM. Now, when I say parametric approach to SEM, please note that CB-SEM, there are certain conditions, there are certain assumptions. If those assumptions are fulfilled, then only you can go for CB-SEM. So first assumption is multivariate normality assumption. Means there is a normality assumption, multivariate normality assumption that has to be fulfilled. Yes. And CB-SEM is designed for a large sample size. It is designed for a large sample size. But so that's why people say CB-SEM has certain riders, has certain assumptions. And if those assumptions are fulfilled, then only you can use CB-SEM. But when you talk about a PLS-SEM, it is a non-parametric approach. When I say non-parametric approach, there are no distributional assumptions. Means even if your data is not normal, or even if your data is not normally distributed, you can still go ahead and use PLS-SEM. Secondly, PLS-SEM is also not rigid to sample size. Yes, you might have heard about CB-SEM that if your sample size is less, so your model gets under identified or unidentified model. But in PLS-SEM, you never experience such a situation where your model is under identified or over identified. PLS-SEM is perfectly fine even if your data is small, or let's say you have one item to measure a construct. Yes. Now see, when you are using CB-SEM, and CB-SEM particularly is devised to handle reflective constructs. See, CB-SEM can also handle formative construct, but analysis becomes very, very technical. Originally, people who developed CB-SEM is for reflective construct. It is not for formative construct. But when you talk about PLS-SEM, PLS-SEM is beautifully designed to handle formative constructs. Initially, people were using PLS-SEM to estimate the formative construct because PLS-SEM is nothing but regression. Yes. But of late, PLS-SEM can handle both reflective construct as well as formative construct. Yes. And PLS-SEM has not many rigid assumptions. So even if you have one item measure, or let's say you have limited sample size, or let's say if your model is complex, you can still use PLS-SEM. It's perfectly fine. So it is not that rigid. So given the non-rigid nature of PLS-SEM is one of the reasons for the popularity of PLS-SEM in contemporary times, because there are no assumptions in PLS-SEM. And see, whenever you work with Likert scale data, or whenever, let's say, you are measuring something on a Likert scale, 1 to 5, 1 to 7, 1 to 9, 1 to 11, whatever it may be, in Likert scale, multivariate normality assumption will always be violated. Yes. So now people question, see, I have come across where people report that they have used CB-SEM. Now the reviewer has asked them to report multivariate normality assumption. So multivariate normality assumption, 99 times out of 100 will be violated. So if multivariate normality assumption is violated, how can you use CB-SEM? So people question this. But there is a rider that even if multivariate normality assumption is violated in CB-SEM, still people use CB-SEM because once you increase your sample size, then that normality consideration is not that rigid. Yeah. Okay. But even let's say if you have used CB-SEM and the reviewer has asked you to report the multivariate normality assumptions stats, then you should cite previous authors and you should say that when your sample size increases, this multivariate normality assumption is no longer valid, and still you can use CB-SEM. You can come out in defense of this particular thing by citing some of the literatures. So again, PLS-SEM, it is a non-parametric approach to SEM, and it estimates relationship in path models with latent and manifest variables using regression-based technique. So PLS-SEM is regression because econometrician Hermann Wold designed it in order to explain the maximum in the dependent variable by the usage of the independent variable. So it's a regression technique. So everywhere you apply regression and estimate the construct and the relationship between the constructs. Yes. Okay. Again, PLS-SEM primarily focus on the interplay between prediction and theory testing. Now people say if your goal is for prediction, if you want to predict, then you should use PLS-SEM. And if your goal is confirmation of theory, if you want to just confirm a theory, then you should use CB-SEM. So now that's why people who are developing a theory, they use PLS-SEM. But again, this is a very far logic. You will hardly find that people are contributing to the theory. But yes, if your goal is theory, if your goal is to develop a theory or propose some new constructs into the theory, you should use PLS-SEM. And if your goal is to confirm a theory with your data set, then you should use CB-SEM. Okay. Then it is alternative complementary to CB-SEM. Please don't be uh, on any side of the PLS-SEM. Whichever SEM suits you, you use it. Now I'm very comfortable with PLS-SEM, so I use PLS-SEM. Yes, by the way, next workshop in times to come, I will do on CB-SEM using both AMOS and R, but not in recent, but in future, I will definitely conduct a workshop on CB-SEM with AMOS as well as R. Yeah. Again, both the methods of SEM, PLS-SEM and CB-SEM are complementary. You can use according to your convenience, but there are certain riders that you need to understand. Okay. So again, this is what we discussed. The goal of PLS-SEM is to maximize the explained variance of exogenous construct and endogenous construct. Again, it's a very tall statement to make. Okay, we have one query. Let's Sonam, go ahead, Sonam. Sonam has raised her hand. Sonam, go ahead. Hello, Sonam. Unmute
So can
yourself.
I ask? So
Namaste, sir.
CB-SEM,
Yes,
so CB-SEM is used for PhD, right? Can
it
we
is
use
used
it in our PhD thesis if we are developing a model?
100%. 100%.
Great. Thank you, sir.
You can use SEM according to your convenience. Again, I'm saying both the methods of SEM are complementary now. Complementary. People are using both the methods of SEM interchangeably. The fight is over. In fact, Smart PLS-4, it has brought CB-SEM into its fold. If you buy Smart PLS if you buy the license for Smart PLS, which costs you 2,500 rupees for a month, Smart PLS-4 can handle both CB-SEM as well as PLS-SEM. So both are complementary. It's simply by drag and drop. You simply drag and drop and you will get your output very fast. Okay.
So yesterday I was reading after your lecture, I started reading some thesis on Shodh Ganga. So I found that many research papers that are like, management research thesis were actually dependent upon the R and R studio. Analysis was done with the use of R and R studio, and that too SEM. And that was mostly focused on CB-SEM. That is to analyze the model fit.
Yeah. I agree with you. See, off late, again, I'm saying your PhD, Sonam, I'll come to you. I think a couple of people have raised their hand. We'll give
And
opportunity to
sir, one more
everybody.
thing is that
Yes.
many research scholars says that R and R Studio is outdated. But R and R Studio, we can analyze maximum of data, I can say, over there. If I'm not wrong, sir.
See, first of all, R and R Studio is not outdated. Again, I answered this query yesterday that software is just a tool. Software is just a tool. Analysis, interpretation is something which is important. See, a PhD thesis is never rejected. Please note this. A PhD thesis is never rejected. People will tell you to refine or write it better or incorporate their suggestions. So now, see, I have used R in my PhD thesis, and my thesis was evaluated by IIM professors, IIT professors, and a foreign university professor. They didn't question about me using R. First of all, it is a stupid contention. If anybody, let's say, if any reviewer or for that matter editor says that no, R should not be used, that is wrong to say. In fact, people are coming out with new packages in R, and R is again R is one software which can handle everything. Everything can be handled by R. Qualitative research, quantitative research, time series data, panel data, longitudinal data, everything can be handled by R. But all the proprietary software like Minitab, SPSS, IBM MOS, they have their limitations. R and R Studio is never outdated. Okay, it can so happen that some reviewers, or for that matter, some editors might not be wanting people to use open source software. They will not tell you this, but they they would not be appreciating. They would prefer you to take some proprietary software helps and do your analysis. It can so happen, but nobody openly says that. And if somebody rejects your paper simply saying that you have used R, so we cannot see your paper. So in my knowledge, nobody will do this. Nobody will commit such blunders, because even if you talk about PLS-SEM, so all the people who develop Smart PLS4, they have also come out with R package, which is known as Seminar. R and R Studio is not outdated. It is correct that people are using R and R Studio in your PhD thesis, because PhD thesis will not get rejected. And if you use R and R Studio, now there are software packages available which makes your analysis even easier. And to tell you, there are many foreign universities also where they insist that their research scholars should learn R rather than depending on some pirated softwares. They should learn R and then they should do the analysis. Okay, so this is my point of view. Okay, now let's go to Sonam. Sonam, and then we'll come to Tushar. Sonam, go ahead. Yes.
नमस्ते सर. सर my question is related to आप अभी जो बता रहे थे कि थ्योरी टेस्टिंग एंड थ्योरी डेवलपमेंट. ठीक है, तो I mean, what is the difference between this? I mean, if I have taken theory of planned behavior and I'm adding 2 or 3 more construct to that particular model, is it
Okay.
theory testing or it is a theory development?
No, see, to an existing theory, if you add a few more constructs, so that is essentially a theory development. Yes. Okay. And see what is theory testing. Let's say there is a theory. Let's say if you talk about theory of planned behavior. So let's say you took constructs which are there in the theory of planned behavior. Yes. Okay. So when you are using the same constructs which is used by the theory of planned behavior, so already that theory is there. You are just testing those theories. So CB-SEM is the preferred option. And when you say developing a theory, it means you are bringing some new constructs, or you are seeing a theory from a different perspective. So that's the difference. And again, see, I did mention it, that what is your contribution to research? R square is something that people know. R square is something that people know. So 1 minus R square. And you see R square, the value of R square will be 0 to 1. So 1 minus R square will be your contribution to research. Let's say if you use theory of planned behavior and if you run a model, people know that 60% variance is explained in the dependent variable. But if you try to explain the maximum variance by using the theory of planned behavior by bringing some new construct, so that is your contribution to a theory. So theory building, Sonam, you are bringing some new constructs. I think yesterday Afrin was talking about she's checking few more constructs in the UTAT model, and then she's checking that. So that is contribution to the theory, but contribution to the theory is very, very rigorous. You have to do a thorough literature review. You have to come out with a very strong argument. See, sometimes a theory might work in a Western context. A theory might not work in an Indian context. So there you can find that yes, there is a need for new theory. See, sometimes theories, social science theories are not universal, Sonam. Yes, and they have a lot of ceteris paribus. So when you feel that certain theory is not explaining the reality for your sample or for your context, then you can see that yes, there is a scope to come out with a new theory. So normally most of the work that Indian researchers are doing, yes, and when you are using a standard scale, you are simply confirming a particular theory. You are not coming out something or you are not contributing anything to the extension of the theory. Sonam, hope this answers your
Yes, sir.
question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's go to Tushar. Tushar, go ahead. Yes.
Good evening, sir. My question. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
My question regarding prediction. Sir, in context of prediction, in written this slide, that is that kind of prediction.
Your voice is very.
Maybe my data point is 100. I am 10 my model 75% data, and remaining 25% I testing. Hello.
Tushar, your voice is very low, But you say 75% you are testing your data. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Training my data and remaining 25% testing model. That kind of prediction in
Yeah.
here.
See. Yeah. Tushar is talking about uh, assessing the predictive power of the model. Now, in PLS-SEM, there is one technique which is known as PLS predict, and this technique is borrowed from computer science discipline. Yes, Tushar. So how do
Yes,
you
sir.
check the predictive power of your model? So you divide your original data set into a training sample and a holdout sample. So you run your model
Okay,
on a
sir.
training sample and then you check the predictive power on the holdout sample. So there are statistics
Okay,
like
sir.
Q square. So if your Q square statistics are above zero, then you say, okay, my model has certain predictive power. And again, so these are based on some blindfolding procedures, or these are
Yes, sir.
some predictive testing. So yeah, definitely when I think on the fourth day, we will definitely be talking about the predictive power of the model. But Tushar, you are correct. To check the predictive power of the model, you should divide your original sample into two, and then you should
Okay,
assess
sir.
whether your model has sufficient predictive power. Predictive power means if you use a new set of sample, will it give me similar result? So essentially, that is testing the predictive power of the model. Hope Tushar, it answered
Okay,
your
sir.
query.
Sir, I'm just extending this scenario, sir. When I maybe think that three is my item, and three item defining my one construct. Okay, sir. So my question is, sir, are you hearing, sir? Are you listening? My voice is clear, sir. Now,
Somewhat, it's very low, but you go ahead. I'm trying to make sense out of it. Go ahead. Yes.
okay. Maybe you think that after EFA, I choose EFA. I derive one construct, one factor, on the basis of three item. So this three item is highly correlated.
Yeah.
That's so this factor is derived.
Okay.
What I'm
Okay.
meaning the thing. Huh? Okay. Now my question is that when my answer when my I got the high alpha value, so that items are already correlated. So what the prediction to अच्छा ही आएगा ना sir?
No, no,
मतलब
see. First
for
of
data.
all, let's separate two things. See, again, I said, see, it is a crime to run EFA on somebody else's scale. When you are borrowing a
Yes.
scale, you should not run EFA. You should only do
Yes,
CFA.
sir.
But let's
Yes,
presume
sir. Yes, sir.
that the items of the construct, you have added some new items to the existing construct. Then it is perfectly
Okay, sir.
fine to EFA. See, first of
Okay,
all,
sir.
what EFA does, EFA groups all constructs which are EFA groups all items which it finds it to be similar. What EFA does,
Okay, sir.
it will group all items which it finds to be similar, and it checks similarity by seeing the correlation. So what EFA does, if let's say 5 items are heavily correlated, so it will club them as one. By the way, EFA is applicable for reflective construct, not for formative construct.
Yes, sir. Formatic also. Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Uh,
Okay, sir.
so
Thank you, sir.
EFA has nothing to do with checking the predictive power of the model. EFA is simply used as a technique in order to estimate the latent construct. You group the items, and then you say 5 items together make one particular construct, and you name that particular construct. So EFA simply groups items, and it determines the latent construct. It tells you nothing about the predictive power of the model. Now, to check the predictive power of the model, there are standard techniques available. Like in PLS-SEM, there is PLS predict procedure. And PLS
Okay,
predict
sir.
procedure uses methods which are borrowed from computer science, where your data is divided into two parts, training sample and holdout sample. So EFA
Okay,
and
sir.
checking the predictive power of the model, these are two different things. Let's keep it separate. Okay, Tusharji?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's
sir.
go to
Thank you,
Shilpa.
sir.
Shilpa, over to you. Yes.
Yes, good evening, sir. Sir, I have one doubt. When we import the data in the PLS-SEM, the first table which appear with respect to mean, standard deviation, maximum, minimum scale, and skewness and kurtosis, whether it
Okay.
is considered as a normality test of the data, or it
See,
is just the normal
okay,
distribution.
okay. See, first of all, PLS-SEM has no assumptions uh, with regards to distribution. See, skewness and
Okay.
kurtosis, definitely it tells you about the distribution of your data set. Yes,
Okay.
but whenever you are using PLS-SEM, whether your data is normally distributed or not normally distributed,
Okay.
it makes no difference, because PLS doesn't impose any strict assumptions as far as its usage is concerned. So when you bring
Okay.
your data in, let's say Smart PLS-4, the
Okay.
first table
Table.
that you get all your descriptive statistics,
Yes.
mean and minimum, maximum, skewness. So let's say now, if you're reporting in a journal, so in your journal you always report your mean scores
Okay.
of
Yes.
the construct, so that you can use for reporting purpose, and
Okay.
see what is the mean, what is the standard deviation that you need to see. That, let's
Okay.
say,
So
if
it
you're,
is,
uh,
yeah,
if you're
it is
measured,
not the normality test, no, sir.
no, it is, see, it tells you about normality, but you should not bother about it. See, whenever you
Okay,
talk
sir.
about skewness and kurtosis, actually they are not, they are test of normality, but you
Okay.
should not bother about it. You should
Okay.
only see what is the mean and what is the standard deviation, what is the minimum and maximum. See,
Okay.
normally, no, when we clean the data, let's say when we collect the data, no, one
Hmm.
statistics that we really underestimate, it is standard deviation. You should
Yes.
always apply standard deviation to check the distribution of your data set. How is your data distribution? And standard deviation tells too much thing about the distribution in your data set. So definitely,
Okay.
Sonam, the first the box that you get, you should interpret mean, median, or median will not be there, but see minimum, maximum, mean, standard deviation, see and see how is your data behaving. So this
Okay.
descriptive statistics tells you the behavior of a data, and if you find that this data is worth reporting it, go and report it in the descriptive
Yes, sir.
sections of your research paper.
So what about the skewness and kurtosis? It should be less than or
No, see, first of all, skewness should be 0 and kurtosis should be 3 for a data to be normally distributed. But again,
okay.
PLS-SEM is not bothered about the distribution.
Okay. Yes,
So
sir. Thank
you
you.
just see it for your information. Anyway, wherever, see, if you read standard papers where people have reported PLS-SEM, they don't report skewness and kurtosis of their indicator variables.
Okay, sir.
So that is for your
Yes, sir.
information. If you can read
Yes.
and interpret it, and sometimes skewness and kurtosis also gives you an information that if skewness is too high, or let's say kurtosis is too low and high, then you can delete some data points. So
Okay, sir.
hardcore people who are from data science, they will make some meaning out of it, skewness and kurtosis. But again, in PLS-SEM, skewness and kurtosis should not be bothered much, in my
Okay,
opinion,
sir.
Shilpa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Sonam, you have one more doubt? Sorry, Shilpa. Sonam, sorry, Sonam.
No,
So
I'm so sorry,
you
sir. I
can
forgot to
lower
lower
your
my
finger.
hand.
You can lower your finger. So shall we proceed? Yes, okay.
So one last
Yes,
question.
yes, Kiran, go ahead. Yeah.
What is the minimum sample size required for PLS
Yeah,
SEM?
okay. Thank you for asking this question. So yeah,
Yes.
thank you for asking this question. So there are so many methods. First method is number of arrows towards the endogenous constructs. So let's say there are 5 arrows heading towards the endogenous construct. So 5 into 10, minimum sample size is 50. So,
Okay.
but this is criticized. People criticize. People say, no, this is a stupid logic. But there are certain textbooks, Kiran, which says that number of arrows towards the endogenous construct multiply by 10 should be the minimum sample size. So let's say 4 arrows are coming towards endogenous construct, 4 into 10, 40. But this is the stupid logic. People criticize it. Now people have come out with different methods, or like there is one sample size estimation called invariance method. People calculate minimum sample size considering the confidence interval. But again, I would see, first of all, Kiran, please understand,
Hmm.
it will be wrong to estimate कि इतना सैंपल मुझे चाहिए डेटा कलेक्ट करने के लिए. See, first of all, please understand what is your sample and from which population they are coming, and try
Right.
to reach out to, please talk to your sample, see how is your sample, and try to get maximum, try to reach out to maximum people from your sample size. But yes, it is also correct that PLS-SEM is can give you robust results even with small sample sizes. But as far as possible, see, I'll tell you that sampling is one technique, or sampling part of your research paper can be criticized like anything. People will see your sample. Now, most of the research that is happening in social science, people use convenience sampling. But do you think the convenience sampling actually represents the population? What if the sampling that you have chosen, or what if the sample that you have chosen doesn't represent the population? Now, please understand statistics. Statistics is study of sample. You study sample and then you comment about the population. But when you use convenience sampling, what is the guarantee that this convenience sampling is actually representing the population? That's why you should make effort to reach out to every section of your population. Please understand what is the population size. And then let's say if your sample size is 500, 600, decent for PhD thesis. And for research paper, Kiran, again, larger the sample size, better. Larger the better. Larger the better. But people, let's say if you have a sample size of, let's say, 180, 190, 250, even that is okay. But I would strongly suggest, Kiran, that don't be obsessed with a minimum sample size number. Try to see that whatever sample that you have chosen, actually it is representing the population. If your sample is representing the population, you can make a fair assessment about the population. Because see, whenever we use statistics, the purpose is not to comment about sample. The purpose is to comment on the population. So if your sample is really representative, then even, see, I'll tell you one interesting discussion happens. Abhishek, I'll come to you. Now, Kiran has asked a very important question. Let's say if let's say the population is homogeneous. Let's say the population from which you are drawing your sample, it is homogeneous. So if your population is homogeneous, no, Kiran, you can only rely on one sample. One sample will suffice, Kiran.
Okay.
Getting, Kiran? If let's say if your population is homogeneous, so even one sample will be enough. Please remember this to comment about the entire population if the population is homogeneous. But Kiran, in reality, the population is never homogeneous. That's why you should understand that what is my population, how are they come from which demographics, and how can I reach to maximum variance which are there in the population. Let's say if you are working on healthcare professionals, let's say you are collecting data from nurses or doctors who are working in hospital. Please understand the demographic profile of the nurses. How many nurses are trained in English? How many nurses use vernacular language? How many nurses are from different qualification? Try to get maximum sample from every what you call as
Section.
every section. Then your sample becomes more. Don't be obsessed with number. Though that I'll show you some sampling. There are methods by which sample size can be calculated, but I don't trust a particular or minimum number which should actually tell more about the population. So don't be obsessed. And even see, even if you read standard papers where people have reported PLS-SEM, they don't talk about how is the sample size estimated. But yeah, sample size estimation gives you a number, and you try to reach out to those number. And there is a software called G-Power software. There are many online softwares available. You simply put your data and it computes the minimum sample size. But try to see that you reach out to maximum section of your population and see that your sample is actually representative of the population. Yes. Okay.
So, and one more thing was there that if suppose the sample is teams, so generally for teams we get very small sample size like 7, 8 or 9, and those teams are very specific, like entrepreneur entrepreneurial teams or teams which have done some kind of intervention, and then we try to measure certain things on those teams. So those such teams could be only 5 to 10. So statistically, the results that we get, will that be enough to say that, okay, this is, if I'm getting a significant value, then is it correct? Because the sample size is so much.
See, definitely. But Kiran, let's say if you're collecting data from team, again, try to have a good number of teams. Uh, let's say collect data from 15, 20, 30 teams.
Okay.
Yes, because if you're collecting data from 2, 3 teams, maybe your results will be constrained to that particular sample.
Right.
It will not speak about the population. So
Okay.
try to reach out to maximum teams. More than 10 teams would suffice, because there you can actually comment about the big picture, that if 10 teams are behaving this way, the other teams in entrepreneurial or whatever setup it is, they will also behave in a similar way. So try to increase the number of teams in your research. And second, Kiran, read literatures where people have used team data to comment about a particular phenomenon, and see how many team size they have taken into factor. How many team size, or what's the number that they have. It is okay that certain teams might have 5 members, certain teams may have 7 members or 8 members. The number of members in team might vary. That is not a problem. But again, you have to analyze the team specific data, and larger the team, it is better, Kiran. In my opinion, though I've never worked on team data, but I feel that the larger the team, it is better. And number can vary in different teams, not a problem. That is perfectly fine.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Abhishek, over to you. Yes.
Okay, so I have 2 questions. One, like you were saying that if we are taking any scale of any particular author, if we are taking, and suppose if we are taking, after doing the literature review, and we are taking the statements of particular 2 or 3 scales, and we are not adopting them, we are adapting them. So in that case also we have to do, we have not to do the EFA, or directly we can do CFA.
First of all, Abhishek, it's a very good question. Let's say you are adapting items, or let's say you are borrowing items from multiple scales in order to understand a particular construct, then perfectly fine to use EFA. Perfectly fine. See, if you are bringing some new items in a construct, yes, and if you're bringing if you're adopting items or bringing items from different scales, then it is perfectly fine to use EFA, Abhishek. But perform EFA and then later on go for CFA. Yes. And see,
that was my question, key we have to first perform the EFA and then we have to do the CFA.
Yes, you have to first perform the EFA and then do the CFA. See, again, when I was working on OCB, I relied on Lee and Allen scale. So it was 8-item scale. So out of ignorance, I took the 8 item, but 3 items were not related to the industry. So what I should have done, I should have understood my sample properly, that how OCB takes place in those organizations, and tried to manipulate the Lee and Allen scale by bringing some few more items. So let's say if I am 8 items are there in Lee and Allen scale, I brought 6 more items and make it a, let's say, a 15-item scale. Then there I should run EFA. And see, whenever you bring items into an existing constructs, and you try to measure in a construct in a very different way, this is a valid reason to use EFA. And secondly, if you are using EFA, you need to divide your sample into 2. Let's say you have a 500 sample size, so perform EFA on first 250 sample, and then CFA on the remaining 250 sample. On same sample, you should not run EFA and CFA. That will be again a big mistake. So let's say you have brought more items in the scale, then divide your sample into 2. So let's say if your sample size is 500, so on the first 250 sample you run EFA, and then second 250 sample you run CFA, and see whether your EFA and CFA results are supported or not. Yes. Okay.
So I have to divide the sample first and then perform the activity.
Yes, because running EFA on the same sample and then performing CFA on the same sample, it doesn't make sense. People will question you. So whenever there is a situation where you are running EFA, then it is always advisable to divide your sample into two. See, EFA will say nothing about EFA will say nothing about the construct validity, but CFA will talk about convergent and discriminant validity. So EFA will only tell you whether whatever items that you have brought into the existing construct, yes, they are actually in sync with the construct or not. Actually, those new items that you have brought, are they contributing to the later construct or not? EFA will tell you nothing about convergent validity and discriminant validity. It is CFA which gives you information about convergent validity and discriminant validity. That's why it is always advisable that your EFA sample and CFA sample should be separate. So first perform EFA on one set of sample, then perform CFA on the second set of sample and check the convergent and discriminant validity. Yes, okay. Abhishek, is that fine?
Got it. Yes, yes.
Okay. So yeah, next. Shall we proceed then? Shall we proceed? Yeah, okay. So you
Yes.
can lower your hand. Let us proceed. By the way, a few more slides are there, and we'll discuss about R now. By the way, today we have to learn R. Just a second. Next, now PLS-SEM, it is also known as variance-based structure equation modeling, or it is also known as composite-based structure equation modeling. It has different name: PLS-SEM, PLS-PM, variance-based SEM, or composite-based SEM. It has many different names. Okay, so you can use these names in your research papers. Yeah. Now this is one good paper. This paper came, I think, in 2019. When to use and how to report the results of PLS-SEM. Now this paper was published in European Business Review. This is an A-star paper, EBR, European Business Review. This is A-star paper, and there Herr, Rischer, Sarsted, and Ringel, these four authors, they have addressed every concern as to when to use and how to report the results of PLS-SEM. So this is one paper. If you read this paper, you will understand PLS-SEM in a much better way. So this one paper you should read, and second, you should read a primer on partial least squares, the third edition book which is shared with you in the books folder. You should read this two material. It will guide your understanding as to when to use and how to report. See, reporting in PLS-SEM is very different than reporting in CB-SEM. Again, in CB-SEM, we talk about model fit indices. But in PLS-SEM, we don't talk about model fit indices. Of late, people are working, and they will come, where people will also have model fit indices in PLS-SEM. By the way, when I read papers in IMB Review, which is a B category paper by Springer, in IMB Review, wherever people are using PLS-SEM, I think it's a standard practice that authors are also talking about model fit indices in PLS-SEM. But all these authors, Herr, Rischer, Sarsted, and Ringel, they are very categorical that model fit is not the characteristic of PLS-SEM as it is there in CB-SEM. But IMB Review all papers in IMB Review talks about model fit indices. In my opinion, IMB Review is the only paper which talks about model fit indices in all the research papers. So I'll show you two papers from IMB Review. They are talking about model fit. They are reporting SRMR. They are reporting some RMS theta. They are reporting some of the values to indicate that in PLS-SEM also there is a model fit. But when I read A-star paper, or for that matter, A category paper from other journals, they slice the PLS-SEM application only till assessing the predictive power of the model. I think Tushar was asking predictive power of the model. So PLS-SEM all analysis ends up to assessing the predictive power of the model. Yes, okay. So we'll see that. So this is one paper. By the way, I'll show you this paper. I use this paper to write my arguments when I write paper. By the way, my two papers are in a very advanced stage, and hopefully one will go to B category, and second I am vying for A category. It will take time. I think 2024 will be lucky year for me, where I will have two papers in APDC, and I'm working on it. Okay, so this is paper by when to use and how to report. This is a wonderful paper. This paper I've shared with you. I always, whenever I'm running a PLS-SEM analysis, I depend on this paper. I see all the stats, all the thresholds, AVE, Cronbach alpha, composite reliability, HTMT. I definitely use this paper and I run my analysis and see whether my analysis is in sync with what PLS-SEM method says about it. I definitely bank on this particular paper. Yeah, this is a wonderful paper. You should read it if you are applying PLS-SEM. Yes, okay. So again, I've included this in my slide. By the way, in all my sessions, I try to create new slides. You see, there are YouTube videos that in my previous session I have to taken a different slide. In my new session, I take a different slide. But this slide I have borrowed from. I conducted one session for Indian Academy of Management, a session which was there at IIM Rohtak. So I was invited as a resource person to address research scholars at IIM Rohtak in Indian Academy of Management. So I think Professor Vishal Gupta, I don't think Professor Vishal Gupta recommended my name. So I created this, I took this snapshot for Indem when I was a resource person at IIM Rohtak. So there I use this slide, only this particular slide that you see before you. Otherwise, in all my sessions, I try to redo my slides because most of the videos are there on the YouTube and people see it. Okay. Now, can you see this argument? All of you, when to use PLS-SEM? See, all these arguments are there. Either way, now this write-up, when to use PLS-SEM, is borrowed from that same paper, when to use and how to report PLS-SEM. So I'm not discussing all those things. So I'll quickly tell you some bullet points when to use PLS-SEM. First, if there are formative constructs in your model, use PLS-SEM. PLS-SEM actually was designed to handle formative constructs. Second, if you have single item measure, CB-SEM might create some problem. Model will be under-identified. But in PLS-SEM, there is no issue called under identification of model. Third, if your sample size is limited, go for PLS-SEM. If you're doing B2B research, like there is one professor who is taking my help in data analysis and design of survey and all, and she's working on Cloud Kitchen. Now, Cloud Kitchen, there her questionnaire has around 70 to 80 items, and she is collecting data from Cloud Kitchen across Mumbai. So I told her that you collect data around 140 to 150 Cloud Kitchen owners, because your data is not ordinary respondent. You can't create a Google form and put it on WhatsApp, or maybe you can email and tell people to answer. You have to go door to door, or you have to do gate crashing and talk to Cloud Kitchen owners, and they should give you time, and they should have patience to fill your survey because it has 70 items. Now, see, you do research what they get. No, if Cloud Kitchen owners to fill your 70 questions, let's say, or to fill that girl's 70 question, yes, how much time they require? At least 35 to 40 minutes they require in order to read every item and then answer. So practically, it is not possible to get data from Cloud Kitchen owners on a 70 item scale. So I told her that try to get 140 to 150 data, and we'll definitely take care of whatever analysis is there. So if your sample size is small, if you're working with B2B data, but again, this is not a sacrosanct statement. Even for respondent data or participants data, which are freely available, there also you can use PLS-SEM. Okay, so there are so many concerns if normality assumptions are violated, if you're working with Likert scale and all. So you can use PLS-SEM. By the way, again, one last final argument that I would give, that PLS-SEM and CB-SEM are complementary. Please take it from me. Okay. Now I am always being criticized by lot many.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
The
Yes,
previous slide, it was on the 6th point. So could you
Just a
please
just a second, sir. Yes.
6th bullet point, when the research is based on secondary and archival data, which may lack a comprehensive substantiation on the ground of measurement theory. What does
Yeah.
it mean, sir?
See, let's say secondary data. Let's say you are take example of data by CSO or NSSO, or recently family health data has been brought. So there actually data are in the form of variables. Data is in the form of variable. So there you can't club 4-5 items and say these 4-5 items are causing one construct. See, what is measurement theory? Measurement theory, it means that it's actually your CFA. Measurement theory testing is your CFA. So secondary data, see, whenever you see government data, particularly NSSO or family survey data, So there are no constructs. So if there are no constructs, you can't apply CFA, because CFA again is used for uh, uh, for validity testing. So in that case, you can simply use the data and model it as a regression and try to understand the effect of that variable on the dependent variable. So yeah, you can definitely try secondary data, see which are the variables, and if they are not construct, you can simply take them as independent variable and try to understand their effect on the dependent variable. Hope sir I answered you. Love sir I answered you.
Yes, sir. Sir, but I want you to that like primary data, it is quite easy. Like people go for it and people often use this technique. Sir, but I request you to during this workshop you use one secondary data also for this
See,
strategy.
actually, Loveji, I have in the data set file, I'm using corporate reputation data. Again,
Okay.
that is a primary data created by the author, and I'm using it as a secondary data. But again, that will not address your concern. But Loveji, I'll tell you. First of all, to apprise you, there are a couple of professors in IIM Ahmedabad. I know they use lot of NFHS data, CSO data, and family health survey data, see, and so many other government agencies data, and then they try to understand. And by the way, Loveji, secondary data, whenever you use, maybe you come out with a model, or maybe something you try to say something. But if you read articles in EPW, particularly, Love sir, Economic and Political Weekly, there people don't talk about this theoretical model much. Ki, construct A leads to construct B leads to construct C. That they don't talk about all those things, and they give you all econometrics formula and technical formula. They calculate all this indexation and so many other stuff. Secondary data का analysis altogether लव जी एकदम अलग हो जाता है. But
That is
when
what
we
it
are
is, sir.
secondary
Sir,
data का, and love ji, I would recommend you. अभी recently जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया, it's a very decent university in North India, Delhi में, बहुत अच्छी university जामिया मिलिया. और वहाँ पे वहाँ के प्रोफेसर्स लोग सेकेंडरी डेटा को कैसे एनालाइज करते हैं उसका उन्होंने वर्कशॉप वगैरह रखा था. इस वर्कशॉप का मैंडेट, द मैंडेट ऑफ दिस वर्कशॉप इज नॉट टू सी सेकेंड की गवर्नमेंट डेटा. सी द मैंडेट ऑफ दिस वर्कशॉप, एंड इनफैक्ट आई एम ऑल्सो नॉट used too much of secondary data, but I intend to do in future. I will definitely use lot of secondary data to come out with some models, or to say something. But as of now, I have not explored it, so maybe this workshop will not fulfill this particular wish of yours. And
okay.
it's open that maybe in times to come, if I learn and if
Because
I
I want to know the structure of that, how we have to structure the data for just giving the input of that structured data into R to
see
function.
that is perfectly fine. So once I'll explain all the
Because I
participants.
have my own data and
Yeah,
how to process all, I want to know, because primary
definitely.
data
In
you
fact,
have a questionnaire and you can fetch the data,
yeah,
and after fetching the data you can use in your software.
yeah,
But
definitely we can do.
secondary
Yeah,
data, people feel like the second primary data is quite easy, because no,
yeah,
it is not quite easy. Every
yeah,
research has a lot of difficulties.
yeah,
But in this data, in secondary data, you have some limitations also.
yeah.
Primary data, you are open, you can
Yeah,
access some more data for fetching it. But in secondary data you have some limitations, like whatever is available, you have
yeah,
to
yeah.
from the available sources you have to find out.
Yeah. I'll tell you. That is just couple of months back, I was working with EDII. So I left EDI in the month of August, and I'm now on my own. So there, EDII comes out with entrepreneur data. So they 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 collect data on many variables from entrepreneurs across India, and they put it in Excel and they upload it. So what is called GEM data, ऐसा कुछ बोलते हैं, GEM data or Global Entrepreneurship Monitor. Even World Bank has lot of secondary data, Loveji. World Bank, if you go to World Bank's website,
Okay.
you will get lot of secondary data. But again, see what people do when you take data from World Bank or Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, there you identify variables, which variables are affecting what. Again, it's more like econometrics, Loveji. But yeah,
Yes, yes.
definitely, we will definitely see how whichever data it is there, whether primary or secondary data. Anyway, it will be in Excel form. And how this Excel data can be brought in are, it's simple. It's simply by the click of
Because,
button.
sir, in secondary data, we don't have to go for, I think, according to my knowledge, we don't have to go for reliability and validity.
Ha.
We have to work on it straight away, because
See,
already the data is published
yeah.
and it is
I-
secondary, so we don't have to go for reliability and
Yeah, you
validity.
are, see, again, the concept, you're 100% correct. I fully agree with you. And thank you for bringing this in this class. See, secondary data, let's say when government is bringing data and putting it on the website, that itself is reliable and that itself is valid. Lavji, you have touched
Very true, sir.
right chords. It's reliable and valid. And anyway, the concept of reliability and validity is applicable only to reflective construct. Yes.
Very true,
Okay.
sir. Very
Okay.
true.
I'll tell you, when you're using a government data, you need not bother about reliability and validity. You pass the buck on to the data. That's why, see, papers that are published in finance journal, EPW or top-notch journals, there people don't talk about, see, reliability, validity is mostly for marketing research or OB research, psychology research and all those things. See, again, people are doing a good job in psychology and all those things, but see, again, I said I don't have much of publication. I'm working very hard on my publications. But where I'm not happy when I use SEM or when I see people applying SEM and telling something, I'm not happy. But again, that is my personal bias. But I'm not very happy when people come out with a model and say all those things. I'm not very happy. So I'm in future I will be more inclined. I will talk to people, talk to 10 different people, see how 10 people are behaving. Then I'll try to say this is how general. So I'm more. I will future in future I want to change my entire method. That but yeah, you are correct. You're correct. And in government data and all variables and all are strictly defined, and you need not check reliability and validity, all those things. But if you can work on government data, again, I'll share just a final thought that I want to share with Professor Love. That recently there was one beautiful article in EPW, and they have used lot of data from government website, and they calculated some indices, and these data are really helping. Yeah, okay. So see, many times, no, all my friends, many times we are working on some research paper. But do you feel that you are satisfied with this research paper? By just ask a question to yourself: ki, you have written a paper, you are getting good job, or you are getting promotion, or you are getting your career advancement schemes, or let's say you are getting a doctorate degree. But what is the use of your paper? What is the practical application of the paper? That's why, no, you should target some journals where actually practitioners read it. So there is one professor in University of Mumbai. His name is Professor Neeraj Hatekar. Neeraj Hatekar. So his papers are published in EPW. That's why I say no. But it's fine. You're targeting A category journal, 50, FT50, B category journal. Fine. Nothing wrong with it. Target, publish. Publishing is better than not publishing. But you see who is benefiting from it? Who is benefiting from it? So I would appreciate Neeraj Hatekar that his work actually is impacting government. Government is using his data, and government is actually working wonders. That's why I strongly say कि कुछ experiments करो, कुछ qualitative research करो. But again, I say this to myself and I say to all my people who attend my workshops. But secondary data, Loveji, if you can explore it and do it, you'll do a wonderful job, in my opinion. You'll do a wonderful job, secondary data. वो तो बहुत अच्छा होता है. ये लोगों का opinion जान के क्या करना है कि whether people are satisfied with the job or not. ठीक है, it's good.
Sir, but it is very difficult to find out the previous studies, sir. Even from last 2 days, I'm struggling to find out. But amongst like in
okay, Loveji,
some
what I'll
scholars.
do now, see, I travel the length and breadth of this country to satiate my hunger for knowledge. So if I travel somewhere, I will, let's say, if I'm going to some important place, I will ping you or maybe drop you a message that I'm going to this place. If you want to accompany me, you accompany me.
Okay.
So there we can go learn, because anyway I'm learning and
because my PhD is basically based on the secondary data, and that was on econometric analysis.
Yeah, very good. Do
Frontier
that.
analysis I have done.
Publish one paper, Loveji, publish one paper in EPW. You will be taken very seriously. All research scholars who are there in this group, if you can publish one or two paper in Economic and Political Weekly, it will be very, very nice.
Sir, I got one rejection, and most probably not rejection, actually. They told me to do something for normality and something. So even I have question from them. Then why do we secondary data normality
No,
quality is required or not?
you can't question a reviewer, huh? Please don't. Oh, he will
Good.
not reply. So my
Because
recently paper was rejected in basic and applied social psychology P
because
category journal.
normality is not required in the secondary data again, sir. And they have asked for normality in secondary
No,
data.
see, normality. See, sometimes no. Again, update your paper, talk to some experts, and see what it can be done. I think yesterday Kiran wrote a wonderful line for two people. I think for Afrin and Sonam. Kiran wrote wonderful thing that take everything in your stride and try to refine. One day you will realize that there is no refinement left, and your paper will be published.
Correct,
So
correct,
Kiran
sir.
wrote a beautiful line. Yesterday I was referring to it, and that's a wonderful. By the way, Kiran has published papers in ABDZ, top particularly in B category journals and all. I think she will definitely publish in A and all. But
Very
that's a
nice.
wonderful. So take the argument in a positive sense, Loveji, and refine it and send it to other papers and all. Okay.
Definitely,
Yes.
sir.
So Sodam, go ahead. Yes, Sodam.
Sir, I just wanted to know, can that जो EDI वाला database है, can we have access to that?
Yeah, I think it's there in open source, or if it
Okay.
is not there, you can write to EDII, and see, definitely there is no harm in writing a mail to the Director General of EDII and asking for this particular data. You just write, I was attending Professor Arun's workshop and he talked about. So just write my name and send him a mail and let's see what he replies and see, just check or see.
Okay. As my thesis is, as I'm working on entrepreneurs na, so I thought, okay, if I can get access to
Gem
that
data
data.
will be wonderful. By the way, Sonam, even World Bank uploads a lot of data about entrepreneurs on its website. World Bank बहुत अच्छा data डालता है
सर ये
about
जेम से
entrepreneurs.
रिलेटेड ही होता है ज्यादातर, तो क्योंकि जितने
हाँ
भी एंटरप्रेन्योर्स पे आती है स्टडी वो जेम डेटा से रिलेटेड ही होते हैं. इफ आई
हाँ
वांट टू स्टडी समथिंग स्पेसिफिकली रिलेटेड टू इंडियन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, देन आई वुड बी रिक्वायरिंग द डेटा व्हिच इज कलेक्टेड फ्रॉम द इंडियन एंटरप्रेन्योर ओनली. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम आस्किंग कि वो ईडीआई वाला डेटा इफ आई
हाँ
कैन गेट और नॉट.
you can write a mail to Director General. The mail will be available and just tell ki I want this data. Can I get this data? Just ask them and
ओके.
they will see if they help you. And I think gem data open source में होना चाहिए, but I am not working on that. Just check. I think it will be there in the open source, open access
ओके
होगा
सर.
उसका.
ओके सर,
Yes.
थैंक यू सर.
Okay. ठीक है. Okay. Shall we proceed? Yes. So yeah. Just a second. 2 more slides. Then next session we are going to take our studio. By the way, I have been heavily criticized. See, lot people give opinions, sir. You talk only about OBHR. By the way, I did my PhD in OB only, so definitely I'll see everything from the lens of OB. No. By the way, this slide is to protect myself from every criticism because everybody is not from OB and HR, and people are from different field or interdisciplinary field. See, PLS-SEM has used in every discipline: accounting, construction management, entrepreneurship, family business, higher education, hospitality, what not, every function of business. Everywhere people have used PLS-SEM, and now there are review articles available. So some people will write review articles on PLS-SEM in accounting. In accounts, what's the position of? So you should read such paper. Lee, Peter, Fayad, Robinson, ये सब paper है. So whichever discipline you belong, let's say Sonam is working on entrepreneurship, she should read this Manley et al. Paper 2020. Let's say somebody is working on knowledge management, they should read this Cipedas et al. Paper 2019. Somebody is working on software engineering, they should read Russo and Stool 2021 paper. By the way, all these papers are there in that seminar book. If you focus on that book, seminar book, then you'll find all the names of the paper and you can just download it from EBSCO. Yes, so there are review articles available on PLS-SEM. So see how robust PLS-SEM is. You'll hardly find review article on CB-SEM. But of late, people are writing review articles on PLS-SEM. That's why PLS-SEM is more popular. And don't be behind and learn both the methods of CB-SEM, PLS-SEM, and use according to your compatibility. By the way, I'll tell you one interesting insight. It will help most of the budding research scholars. There is one professor, he's in IIM Jammu. And I'll tell you, he's a very inspiring story. I'll not tell his name because it's an online recorded lecture. So initially he was like me only, was publishing papers in UGC, CAR and all those things, journal and all. And बहुत time लग रहा था, reject हो रहा था. तो बाद में उसने क्या किया? He learned SEM, and now he learned CB-SEM, and all his papers now are in A category, A star, B category, and everywhere he uses SEM. सब जगह is using SEM. So learn one nothing wrong with using one method. Use CB-SEM and publish all your papers using that method, and publish till you make a mark in the field of research and people take you seriously and people invite you for workshops and all those things. learn एक का पूछ पकड़ के आगे बढ़ो, मतलब learn one, either CB-SEM, PLS-SEM, catch the tail of one particular method and just go ahead. By the way, you should also be open to learn other methods of CB-SEM, yeah, or SEM, yeah, okay. हमारे गुरुजी प्रोफेसर विशाल गुप्ता है अहमदाबाद के, he write wonderful research papers. You should read his research papers. I call him my guru. Sir uses multi-level modeling. Sir uses mediation, moderation, conditional process analysis. Sir uses multi-level modeling. He uses case study research, multiple methods. He's a very good research, Professor Vishal Gupta. You should definitely see his papers, how he writes, and he regularly conducts workshop also. Try to attend his workshops. He writes wonderful equations. Everything he'll explain in equation, and I explain without equation. So sir explains everything in equation. I rarely use equation. So okay. So yeah, can you see this paper? A critical examination of common beliefs about PLS path modeling. Yes, means see the authors, Ronco and Everman. And this paper was published in 2013. And 2013, these two professors इन्होंने भूचाल ला दिया. They criticized PLS-SEM and they said this is a stupid argument, and henceforth PLS-SEM usage should stop. When they said this, see, all who's who of management research, Hensler, Dijkstra, Sarsted, Ringel, these people we cite heavily. They refuted all the allegations of Ronco and Everman step by step. So here you see Ronco and Everman are criticizing, and here see all bigwigs. See how many authors are there? I think more than 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 authors writing one paper. Now here we write paper and we don't want to include others. Yes. So it's always better to partner with people. Partner with people who have certain knowledge. Nothing harm in asking people. Nothing harm even sending your full paper. See, I'll tell you, I wrote one full paper and I sent it to an US professor. He was so considerate, so humble. He said, Arun, I will partner with you in this paper. And now we both are facing rejection since 3 times. But sir has not lost hope. Neither I have lost hope. Maybe tomorrow morning I will send that paper to International Journal of Organizational Analysis. But after 3 rejection, we both have not lost hope. And every time I'm reviving the paper based on every journal, it is taking me 15 days. And if this paper gets through, at least I will have one B category paper. Okay, I can proudly say I have one paper and I can discuss about this paper in my future workshops. Yes, okay. So nothing wrong in partnering with some good people, seeking their opinion and involving them. Let's say even if you have written full paper, and if you feel that some author can come and he can give an interesting twist and turn and he can make the paper worth readable and worth publishable, nothing wrong in bringing that author into your paper, and nothing wrong. Write your name first, let his name be second or third. Nothing wrong with it. Bring that person. It will be good for you itself. But try to tie up with people who are established, who are erudite, who are well published, and who can work hard with you and who can handle rejection with you. Try to bring such people. They will be interesting for you. And see, I'm not discussing when to use PLS-SEM. See, again, inner model. See, again, so see, this is inner model is your structural relationships. Please. Now this is smart PLS-3. So see, can you see this black box? This is your inner model. Inner model is nothing but relationship between the constructs, which is our hypothesis testing. And then there are outer model 1, outer model 2, outer model 3. So outer model in CB-SEM, it is known as confirmatory factor analysis, and inner model is known as structural model. So similarly, in PLS-SEM, outer model is nothing but the relationship between the construct and the indicators, and inner model is nothing but the relationship between the constructs per se. So inner model is your hypothesis, and outer model is your CFA, measurement theory testing. Okay, and there are 3 packages. One package is again PLS-PM package. I did my entire PhD on PLS-PM package. Then I also use CSEM package. These are packages which are there for PLS-PM. So for PLS-PM path modeling. So one is PLS-PM by Gaston Sanchez. Second is by CSEM package by Rademacher. And third is your most recent package. I think somebody was saying, Afrin was saying, ki Shodh Ganga pe I saw some thesis and R is not what you call as up to date. Nahi, aisa kuch nahi. In fact, recently 2021 seminar package, it is that package which can handle both CB-SEM and PLS-SEM. And again, it is given by whom? See, it is given by all Ray, Danks, Valdez, and these people, they work closely with Hare, Ringel, Sarsted, Marco, people who develop smart PLS. So R is never outdated. In fact, I'll tell you, people who are consultants. I met one consultant, statistical consultant, who was consulting for Swiggy, and this person, he uses R in order to consult Swiggy. Just imagine, he uses R. Professor Kulkarni from again, Dr. Gandhali is there. She is from Kolhapur, and Dr. Gandhali might know this, that Professor Kulkarni, he was a very celebrated professor at Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and he decided to resign his job, and then he now is consultant to Swiggy, Professor Kulkarni. So I
Okay,
was
sir.
happy, I
Got
was
it.
lucky to learn from Professor Kulkarni, and a very humble man, down to earth man, and he said, I use R to consult Swiggy. And in fact, he was teaching us R, and he was doing some modeling and all. And so that is how Professor Kulkarni, he uses R. So please don't give this argument that R is not up to the mark, outdated. No, it's not. In fact, couple of years back, some person called me from US and said, "Sir, I've heard about you that you use R. Can you analyze my data and all those things?" So her daughter was in New York University, and she wanted me to explain her or handle her assignment and complete her. So I said, "See, I don't complete people's classroom assignment. I will help you with data and analysis, but I don't complete UG levels classroom assignment." So I declined that. So, so R is not outdated. Even foreign universities, they are encouraging people to use R and all. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this was the last slide. Now what we will do, we'll take a break. Yes, 8 o'clock, we will give hands-on practice on R. Yeah, okay, let me talk to you first. Now it's 7:40 and it's high time to take a break. But I'm very happy, yeah, very happy that ये 18 का number, the Vanita will scold me if I use too much of Hindi. 18 people are still active, and since yesterday the number is intact, and I presume on the 10th of March this number will remain intact. By the way, 4 5 people are there, they will write a mail, sir, give us our money back. I could not attend it. Okay, okay. So we'll take a break, and we will meet sharp at 8 o'clock. Yes, okay. We will take few queries and then we'll start practicing art. Is that fine with all of you? Yes, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's take
Yes,
a
sir.
break. Let's take a break. Yeah. Okay, so we'll begin shortly. Yes, okay. I'm happy that the interaction is very good, and I encourage other people also to share their observations, share their perspectives, or they can share their experience also in between. The floor is open. You are most welcome to offer your comments and insight either in the chat section, or maybe you can intervene and you can share your perspectives related to research. It is most appreciated because research is sharing. The more you share, the better you become in your approach. I'm happy that we have limited audience and people are quite interactive, and that's so amazing. It's wonderful. So, 1 minute to go. Later we'll start. Yes. Now it's practical session, and it is advisable that everybody should have a laptop before them. Yes. Keep your laptops open, and I'll tell you what to open your laptop so that we can give a hands-on practice to it. And so next 1.5 hours will be your practice, and you have to type and you have to give your commands so that you learn better. And this is the day where we will sensitize ourselves to R. Yes. We'll start. Let people join. So we'll start. Mohammad Arif, can you hear me? Hello. Arif ji, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
Arif, he joined today. So I
Yes,
just
sir.
wanted him to introduce himself. Okay. Okay, let's begin. Okay, let's begin. So I'm sharing the screen. Now let's start practicing R. Okay. So let me minimize this. Yes. Now friends, pay attention. So this is the R-based version. And here also you can type your command and you can get output. So whenever you download R from CRAN, so I'll take you to CRAN also. Maybe so just a second, I'll take you to CRAN. So this is the website where you can download R, CRAN. CRAN stands for Comprehensive R Archive Network. So here you can go and download R, yes, and you will get the latest package, yes. So R is available for every operating system. for Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. So you need to click on Windows, and here you download the base package. If I download it, things will start downloading it, but I'm not downloading it because R is already there in my machine. Yes. So first you need to download the base package, and once you have downloaded the base package, you need to go to RStudio. RStudio, will simply type RStudio download. Yes. Then you can go to this. Now RStudio is known as POSIT. So you need to type POSIT and go here. And first download the base package, install it in your machine. So once base package is installed, then you need to go to RStudio posit.co site and just download the RStudio. Yes. Now there are two things. Please note this. So this interface that you see before you, it is the interface of R base package. Again, here also you can type and you can get your output. In fact, I admire R base more than RStudio, though RStudio is user friendly. Now I can show you RStudio also. This is RStudio, and this is your R base package. See the two interface. The interface that you see before you right now, it is for R base interface, and this is RStudio. RStudio is basically a story of 4 windows. Yes. So now, okay, let me explain RStudio because all of you will be using RStudio, but there are seasoned R users. They heavily use this particular interface, R base interface. I've seen very seasoned statisticians, they use all this base interface, and RStudio is also fine. Both are fine. Both will give you the same output. But here you get the color and all is far beautiful in the R base interface. You'll get all output in red color. So I like the color. So if I have to run my analysis, I will write my script and I will run it here because I enjoy this particular interface. But since you are learning R for the first time, RStudio is more user friendly. So let me talk about RStudio in detail, and I explain you some of the tabs which will be using it. Yes. Okay. And later on we will give hands-on practice. And I promise you, by 9:35 or 9:40, you will be on your own toes. I promise you this. Yes. And all your fear related to R will vanish by 9:35. Okay. Now, all of you focus on the first window where I'm typing. I'm pressing enter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The window that you see here where I'm typing, it is your R script file. You can write your script. Now people write your script like this. People write the script like this. Now hashtag is used for commenting. So then let me say R script. Let's say R script for PLS-SEM workshop. You can write your script here. Yes. Normally people write script in a very decorative manner and ऐसे script लिखने का यार. Write your script. Now this window, the script window that I'm typing, here you can type your output and save it for future. So this is your script. The first window that you see, left hand side top window, it is the script window. You write all your output here, and later on you can run it. Because when the syntax becomes very, very complex, you can't remember everything. It is better to type it and save it and then just keep your tab and run it. Okay, now I'll show you. Let me type 45 plus 89. So now see, if I line number 4 and simply run. The moment I run, output is always in the console window. This is the console window. So the first window is script window, and output is usually given in the console window. Console is the calculator window. In the window which is below the script window, this is the console window, and it acts like a calculator. All output will get it. Yes. Okay. And the third window on the top side where you see environment, history, connection, tutorial. This is your environment window. Here you can import your data. I think Dr. Love was asking that how to bring secondary data in RStudio. It's very easy, just by click of a button. But here bringing, focus on this R base package. Here bringing external file into this is slightly complicated. But in R, Studio, be it any file, be it a base file, Excel file, SPSS file, SAS file, Stata file, every kind of file can be brought easily into the R environment. And fourth window, I call it as a plot window, though it has files, plots, packages. So whatever package that you have installed, or whatever package which is installed by default, you can find it here. Help, viewer, presentation, everything. So I normally keep it to plot window. Yes. So now I'm erasing everything. Let me keep it blank and let me start from scratch. Because many of you are learning R for the first time. And I'll tell you one fact about R. I have conducted many workshops on R at Pan India level in many states. And after me completing workshop, people make their mind, okay, for my PhD thesis, I'm going to use R. People make this mind. I know many people now, they are not obsessed with proprietary software. After learning from my workshop, they are using R. I know many people, they are writing syntax. So one of my friends, she's there at Pondicherry University. So she attended 3-4 workshop of mine, particularly in pandemic, in online mode. And now she is running CB-SEM in R and using the seminar package, and she's completing her analysis. I think Vanita is also there from Pondicherry University. Correct me if I'm wrong. So so now people use R for their PhD thesis, and nothing wrong. See, anyway, PhD thesis never gets rejected. And
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, but sir, I have opened my R Studio on my laptop, but on the left top screen where you were typing 45 plus 89, sir, ये जो sir top ribbon आ रही जहाँ run लिखा है sir, that is not coming in my screen, sir.
Okay, do one thing, Karthike, no?
Yes, sir.
Karthike, just a second. So now I have to talk one-to-one person. So let me allow you to share a screen. Just ask to wait how to allow you to share a screen. Share screen. Okay, now Karthike, share your screen. Share your screen, Karthike. Share your screen. Yes. Okay. What is the problem? Tell me. Karthike, what is the problem? Karthike, unmute yourself and talk. Unmute yourself, Karthike. First, unmute Karthike.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Tell me.
Yes,
What
sir.
is the
Sorry,
problem?
sir. Sir, here the run is not coming in your.
Acha, nahi. Just take your cursor here. See what you. Okay, I got your problem. You stop sharing. I'll show you. Stop sharing. Okay. Now let me share. I got it. Thank you for asking this question. Many people will have this doubt. See, just zoom. Make this like this. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can see that.
Just
I'm just
try
following
this.
up.
Just make it left and right. You'll see the run. And let's say if you don't see the run, there is one shortcut, Karthike. Let's say I'm typing 45 plus 67 and simply press Control Enter. The moment you press Control Enter, automatically the script output, the script input will come in the console and you'll get the output. Control Enter. Press Control and then Enter.
No, but sir, it is not coming.
Not coming
from either of the ways. मैंने उसको screen को sir sideline भी किया.
Okay, share. Once again share. Share it. Now such problem will come. I have to look to every person's screen and we'll be fast. Don't worry. This session will be a great fun for you. Yes. Just come this side. Left hand side. It's not coming, no? Okay. Which version it is, by the way? Okay. Do one thing. Go to view section. View. Press view.
Sir, I can't.
View as at the top.
Sir, ये हट नहीं रहा.
What is not?
Okay.
Click on
yes,
view
sir,
and zoom out. There is zoom out. Press zoom out. Just click it. Again, press zoom out. Okay, let it be. No, enough. This run is not coming. What to do? Why it is? See, sometimes it happens. And version is 4.4.3. See what you can do. You can reinstall. You can go to your control panel, uninstall R Studio, reinstall it, and it will function. Or check add-ins. See, See, automatically you'll get it. Check add-ins also. Add-ins. At top, you can say add-ins. Just click here. Add-ins. Add-ins. Just
Add-ins.
click on this. No, yeah, it's not there. Tool, help. See, sometimes, see what you should do, you should reinstall. In this case, you should reinstall. Huh? Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Stop
fine.
sharing. Stop sharing. Okay, let me share. Now see, now the fun will start. Yeah, okay. But I'll tell you one shortcut, Karthike. What you can do, you can simply type in the script section and press Control Enter. If run is not there, there is an alternative. Control Enter. Huh? So by
Okay, sir.
timing, you don't reinstall it. It will take some time and you will miss the bus. Okay. See, now friends, what we will do is that let me initially work with this base package. Base package. See, let's say if you want to clean the screen, the command is Control L. Press Control and L. L for lion. Automatically everything will be cleaned. Now see what I'm going to do. Now please pay attention. See, first I'm purposely using R base file. I'll touch RStudio later on. Though RStudio is very simple. It's cakewalk. See, first what I'll do, all of you just pay attention. Huh? First what I'll do, let me come to my whiteboard. Control A, delete. All of you just pay attention. Now we are learning R. So what we will do first, we will perform basic arithmetic. We will perform basic arithmetic. When I say basic arithmetic, it means plus, minus, multiply, divide, and let's say square root, all those things. Yes, we'll perform basic arithmetic. Second, we will create vectors. Very important. This is a very important step, how to create vectors. Yes. Then we will learn how to create matrix. Only these 5 things, if you understand, no, entire R you have understood. These 5 things, only this 1.5 hour. And this session will remove all your fear related to R. So create matrix, then we will create data frames. Data frames are nothing but arrangement of information in rows and columns. And lastly, we will explore data set in R. Or we will import external file. I think Dr. Lowe was talking about how to bring secondary data into R. It's very easy. So we'll import external file or file into the data set. So we'll focus on these 5 things in
Sorry, sir.
next 40
Sorry
minutes.
to interrupt you in
Yes,
between,
certainly.
sir.
Yes.
Sir, my question was little different, sir. Like in data structure of primary data is little different. I think of data structure of secondary data is little different. So my question was based on that. What kind of data structure we have to prepare for the secondary data for giving the input into as an external file into R?
I got it. See, data structure, yes, it's slightly different in secondary data. But again, it is you who has to take a call that how are you going to interpret the data and how you're going to model that data. Okay, thank you for the correction. Yes. So initially we'll focus on these 5 things. And for the timing, what I'm doing, I'll simply use this R base package, which is a console. Here, if you see the interface before you, which is R base interface, this is not user friendly. But still I'm using it in order to make you understand. See, whenever you use hashtag, see, anyway, R is a programming language, no? So every programming language, for that matter, Python or for that matter, R, they have one symbol which is used for commenting. If you use that symbol, you will get no output. Let's say I use hashtag 56 plus 78. See, I'm getting no output. And press the upper arrow key, you will get the history repeated. And just remove this hashtag and now press enter. So I can write hashtag is used for commenting. If you want to comment something, use hashtag. R will not read it. Simple. Second, R is case sensitive. These are some of the rules. Please understand. R is case sensitive. Means, let's say I store value X. I'm creating one variable X and I'm storing value into it. Let's say X is 1. And if I press X and if I press enter, R is giving me yes, X has a value which is 1. But now see, X is small. Now if I type capital X and if I press enter, it is showing me error. It is saying object X not found. So please note R is case sensitive. So there are two rules. Let me erase it, Control L. First rule, hashtag is used for commenting. Hashtag is used for commenting. Hope you can see my screen, all of you. Second, again, I'm using hashtag so that R should not read it. R is case sensitive. These are first rules. Yes, okay. These are two rules that you need to understand. That hashtag is used for commenting. Now, in R Studio, in the script file, we use many hashtags so that in the console it is not read, because hashtag is used for commenting and second R is case sensitive. R will interpret capital letter and small letter differently. It will not see as one, though according to us, small x and x both are x, but R is going to see it very differently. So R is case sensitive. These are two thumb rules. Now what we will do, we'll perform some basic arithmetic. Now again, I'm using hashtag. Why? Because I don't want R to read. So I will type and make you understand so that thing becomes very clear for you. So we'll perform basic arithmetic. Basic arithmetic. Let's do plus minus. Let's take any number 678 plus 579 or 570. Sorry, 70. See, within a fraction of seconds, R is super calculator. R is super calculator. Now let's do minus. How to do minus? Let's say 908 minus, let's say 458. See, plus minus. See, first, whenever you're learning R for the first time, you should do net practice. I'll tell you my story also, how I learned R. And not only learned R, became a resource person also. Now I let me go to any institute. I will never have fear of teaching R to any audience, be it a seasoned audience or be it a novice audience. I will never hesitate and I will use R like anything. Okay. So just how I learned R, I'll tell you the story also so that you are inspired. Okay. So minus. Now let's do multiplication. How to do multiplication? Let's say, let me type a number. Let's say 345 into means this flower symbol into, let's say 98. If I multiply, see, I'm getting a value. So plus minus multiply. Now let's do divide. Let's say divide. Let me divide simple number. Let's say 87 divide by, let's say 4. I'm getting an output. So first, we are performing a basic arithmetic. Plus, minus, divide, multiply and divide. Now let's calculate square of a number. Let's say I want to calculate square of a number. Let's say, what is the square of 45? So hat means this hat you will see on digit 6. And let's say 2. This is the number. Let's say I want a cube of a number. Cube means some number and cube of that number. Let's say 67 and hat 3. You can go on and on. For 4, you can calculate 67 hat 4, 5, whatever it may be. See, R is that easy. And if I press Control L, you'll clean everything. And press upper arrow key. The moment you press upper arrow key, navigation key, if you see on your keyboard, if you press upper arrow key, you'll get all the output. Let me get all the output. Which was the first rule? Yes. Which was the second rule? Yes. Which was the first operation? First operation was this, the basic arithmetic. Yes. Which was the first thing that we typed? This was. Then we did minus. So if you press upper arrow key, you will get the history. And if you want to change it, just go back. You can change it. So whatever you do in R will store it in its memory. It will store it in its memory. Yes. Okay. So see, I like this interface compared to R Studio. You know why? Because I like the color, red color and blue color. So beautiful it looks. But if you type the same thing in R Studio, the color is green and blue. So my favorite color is red and blue. So I normally like this, and you get a very crystal clear output. But if you're learning R for the first time, I would strictly advise you not to use this, because this will complicate your matter like anything. And let's say if you're performing complex operation like CB-SEM or PLS-SEM or multi-level modeling, then I will not suggest you to even touch this interface, because Sometimes no, I get calls from many scholars. They say, sir, I'm stuck up. I'm not able to get the output. I'm not able to understand what is happening. It's very difficult. And sometimes when I conduct workshops, sometimes I stuck up. I'm not getting ki kya ho raha hai, why I'm not getting the output despite all my commands are okay. Then I realized that एक छोटा सा comma, one small comma was missing because of which output is not coming, or maybe one bracket was missing. So this interface will not guide you properly. This interface will not guide you properly. But since out of fun, out of curiosity, we are learning this. Okay, let me press Control L. So all of you do Control L. Just type plus, minus, multiply, divide, and all those stuff. Hope everybody is on the same page. Hope you are doing it. Hope just raise your hand. How many of you are doing it? Just raise your hand. How many of you are simultaneously practicing? You have 17%, so 2 people lost. So Sonam is practicing. Okay.
I am practicing.
Okay, great. Abhishek is practicing. So
Yes,
you
sir, I'm
can.
also practicing. I don't know how to raise hand, however.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Keep practicing. Keep practicing. Now see. Now let's calculate. Let's say if you want to calculate square root. Square root. Let's say square root of 900. So you're getting. Let's say again you want to calculate square root of, let's say, 500. So press upper arrow key. Again, don't type square root. SQRT is a function. SQRT is a function, and let's say make this number, let's say 450. Enter. Let's say you want to calculate square root of, let's say, 25, or let's say 25. Okay. You can calculate square root. Yes. Okay. Simple. So square root is a function. Square root is a function. So plus, minus, divide, multiply, squaring of a number, cubing of a number, then calculating the square root. As simple as this. As simple as this. Okay. So now focus what are we learning. First, we learned basic arithmetic. Okay. Now let me show you some magic also. Let's say I want to repeat number 2 10 times. REP is a function. I want to repeat number 2 by 10 times. Let's say you can do, see, R, the capacity of R is limitless. By the way, I know only 1% of R. 99% even I don't know. I say that I know only 1% of R. R is ocean. Hardly anybody can claim that he knows in and out everything about R. No, nobody can claim it. At least on planet, nobody can claim it. You can say I know everything about CB-SEM. You can say I know everything about smart PLS. You can say I know everything about SPSS. Or you can say I know everything about Minitab. But there is no person on this planet who can say I know in and out of R. No, nobody can make this claim. Nobody can make this. Because the capacity of R is huge. Let's say if you're performing qualitative analysis, R can handle it. If you're doing bibliometric analysis, R can handle it. If you're running multi-level modeling, R can do it. Forget about SEM, it can handle so very easily. What not? Experiment data also it can handle it. Time series data it could handle it. Longitudinal data it can handle it. Non-linear model it can handle it. Yes. You say any kind of even sentiment analysis. Qualitative research people do sentiment analysis, text analytics, Twitter data analysis. R can handle everything. R can handle everything. Yes. Okay. So just remember this function: square root, repeat. Let's say I want to create a sequence. I want to create SEQ. I want a sequence of number, let's say 1 to 100 with a gap of 2. Sequence. I want a sequence of a number from 1 to 100 and gap of 2. So see 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Can you see all of it? Can you see? So simple, so simple. So simple. You can't do this in smart PLS. You can't calculate sequence of a number. You can't make repeat a number. Yes, okay. Okay, shall we proceed? I'll show all this thing to you in RStudio. By the way, from tomorrow, we are going to use RStudio. Today, we are just having fun. And the moment you start taking R as fun, you'll realize that R is nothing but a calculator. The way you have in your mobile phone, you have a calculator. No? Similarly, in your laptop, you have a calculator for R. Yes, okay. So you calculate sequence. Huh? So, okay. Now, first thing, what did we learn? We learned basic arithmetic. First step, you should always basic arithmetic. This is over. Huh? Arithmetic. Now, after that, what will we do? Let's learn something known as creating a vector. This is very important, friends. This is very, very important. Pay attention. Creating a vector, because when we are performing modeling or SEM modeling, we have to create lot many vectors. In fact, I have shared you the syntax of day one. If you focus on that syntax, there are lot many vectors that I've created. I'll show you. I'll navigate quickly to the R Studio so that you understand things better. So see, first of all, what is vector? Now, again, I'm typing everything so that you learn with me. So vector is used to store value. Vector is used to store values. Why do we create vector? Because in vector we are storing a value. Now let's say I'm creating a vector. Friends, pay attention. I'm creating a vector in the name of x equal to, and I'm storing some value. Let's say 1 to 100. I'm storing some values in x, and simply say now the moment you press enter, you get greater than symbol. The moment you get greater than symbol, it means R has understood that एक vector create हुआ है. And now simply type x, and R has understood that the person who is using, he has created a vector in the name of x, and x has these many values. Now just imagine when you are creating measurement model or structural model, you can't remember all the equation in your head. Yes, it's better to एक छोटा दो value लेके उसके अंदर रख दो पूरे values. So let me create one more vector in the name of y. Let's say y is a vector which has values from 101 to, let's say, 200. Press enter and press y, enter. See. So x has values from 1 to 100, y has values from 101 to 200. Okay. Now press Ctrl L. Now press x, enter, press y, enter. Now you need not type again and again. X has values 1 to 100. No, did not do this. Now let's say, can I multiply x with y? Yes, I can do. X multiply by y. See the output. See the output. 101 multiplied by 1, 101. 102 multiplied by 2, 204. Just imagine, can your computer, or let's say can your calculator in your laptop, calculator in your mobile phone, can it do this? No, it can't do it. Your calculator will show error. Error माने exponential हो रहा है बाबा, मेरे से नहीं जमेगा. Calculator max to has 8, 10 digit, 12, 16 some digit, not greater than that. R is a super calculator. Please remember this. R is a super calculator. Can I divide this? Yes. Can I divide this x divided by y? See, when I divide x by y, I'm getting this. Let's say I want to divide y by x. Can I do? Yes. First create y, then x. See how values you're getting. With a fraction of seconds, friends, you're getting wonderful values. You're getting wonderful values. So what is vector? Again, what is vector? Anybody, what is vector? Vector is used to store values. Vector is used to store values. Okay. So let me create few more vectors. Let me create a vector A, let's say, which has values. Now C is a combined function. Yes, there are some chat. Let me see the chats. Sir, small c refers to creating vector. No, it's a Karthike, it's a concatenate function. C means concatenate. Means or in a local way, you can call it combined function. See, if I don't use C, no, let's say Karthike, let's say, just a second, Karthike, pay attention. Let's say if I don't use C, and if I, let's say, simply put a bracket, 1, 2, 3, 4, now I'm typing a manually. And if I press enter, it is showing me error. Karthike, it is showing me error. So Karthike, whenever you are storing some number in a vector, you should use C function. C, it means concatenate. Let me write it. Hashtag C is concatenator. Hope I've written correctly. Please excuse me for mistake. C is a concatenate function, but you can call it combined function. Okay. So let me create a vector A. Let's say it has value C. C means combine. And I'm typing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And press enter. And press A, enter. So R has understood that A is a vector which is storing values from 1 to 5. Hope it is easy. Hope it is easy. Now let me create a vector in the name of B equal to C. C means combine. C means combine. And let me create a value 6, 7, 1 comma 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let me multiply A and B. A into B. Can anybody tell me why did I get error? Can anybody tell me?
Sensitivity.
What sort of?
Case sensitivity.
हाँ, case sensitivity. What?
कैप्सन ये जो है ना आपने स्मॉल में लिखा है डिनोशन
हाँ.
और यहाँ पर आपने कैप्सन यूज किया है.
Okay, so R is case. So what? I press the upper arrow key. Simply go left, make it small. Simply come right, make it B. Enter. See, I'm getting multiply. Yes. Can I find the let's say put a hat and see? Again, I'm getting some value. A raised to power B. ऐसी बोलते हैं ना, A raised to power B. 1, 128, 6, 5, 6, 1. See such a number. Your calculator is not powerful to handle such complexities.
सर लेकिन ये आया क्या लाइक वी हैव यूज्ड हैट फंक्शन फॉर कैलकुलेटिंग स्क्वायर रूट एंड क्यूब रूट
So now
earlier.
I'm calculating A power to B, A power to the B, or A raised to B, A raised to B. No, don't try to interpret too much thing, huh?
ठीक है सर.
Okay, A power B. So it is one. See, if you multiply 1 6 times, if you multiply 1 6 times, you'll always get 1.
Okay, हाँ, yes,
But if you
2 की
multiply
power
2,
14 and 3 by 20, 3 की power 24, it's like that.
yeah, so this way it is. Okay. Okay. So vector. What is vector? Vector is used to store values. Okay. Now again, I'll show you some fun. Huh? I'll show you some fun. Now let me navigate to RStudio. Let it be. Now, let me not teach you our base package. Otherwise, you'll get confused. Huh? You'll get confused. So let me do one thing. Let me close this and start once again. Huh? Don't save. I'm closing RStudio, closing our base package. I'm not saving anything. And now let me do one thing. Let me yes. Let me start. Can you see? This is the screen. This is the R base package, and this is the RStudio. Now what I'll do, I'm using RStudio, so that because in all remaining 4 days that is there, we are going to use RStudio only. R base, I will not use it because it will make things complicated for you. And RStudio is user friendly. So let me open RStudio. So the moment I open RStudio, yes, it's a mirror data. I'm writing a paper, so I'm getting all those data here. And again, see the console section. This is the console section. And how to clean the screen? Can anybody tell me how to clean the screen? Can anybody tell me?
Control L, sir.
Control L.
Control
Yes.
plus L, sir.
Control L. Yes. Okay. Now see, whatever I will do here. Let's say I'm creating a vector x equal to c, and let's say it has values from 1 to 100, or let's say 1 to 10. And if I press enter, can you see the environment window? Environment window, R has understood that the person who is using me has created a vector in the name of x, and which has values from 1 to 10. Yes. Now let me create a vector y. Now this function you can't see in the R base package. In our base package, you can't see all this thing. Now let me create a vector. Let's say C. C is from, let's say, 11 to, let's say, 15. If I press enter, R has understood yes. And another vector is created in the environment window, which has values from 11 to 15. Now, can I remove this value? Yes. How to remove the vector? See, you can overwrite the vector also. See, initially, x has values from 1 to 10. Now I can overwrite. Let's say x has values call 3. Now see, when I create a new vector s equal to 3, the earlier vector is overwritten. So that's why it is advisable to change the name of the vector. So if you write the same vector, then the earlier vector will vanish. Now if I type x, I'll not get 1 to 10, I'm getting 3. Means the earlier one is overwritten. Now how to remove this vector x and y? So there is a command called rm x comma y. See, आप एक करके निकालते rm x, enter, rm y, enter. Now see, environment window is clean. There is no more vector. Now if I type x, I'll get error. Now if I type y, I'll get error. See. Now again, how to do? Plus upper arrow key. Press upper arrow key. Again, vector created. Press upper arrow key. Again, vector created. Now can I remove simultaneously x and y? Yes. Simply type rm x comma y. Both the vectors will vanish. Now there is no such vector called x and y. So x is nothing, y is nothing. So initially, first step, what we did basic arithmetic. Second step, what we did we created vectors. We created vectors. Now, friends, let's proceed and create a matrix. Let's do create a matrix. So now I'm using the script section. By the way, I forgot to tell you one important thing. Let me hide this. Okay, just pay attention. One important thing which I forgot to tell. The moment you open your RStudio, check the working directory. I'll tell you, see, there is a command called get wd and press enter. Just type in your console section, get with getwd bracket close. You'll get, it means C drive, all my work is saved in C drive users, Arun D, OneDrive documents. Now I don't want my computer to save my work according to the default directory. The default directory means all my work will be saved here. Now, just pay attention here. I have created one folder here, DRS, Data Matrix Research Solution, PLS-SEM. I want all my work to be saved in this file. I want all my work to be saved in this file. So what should I do? Open your RStudio, go to session. All of you do with me. Open your RStudio, go to session, and here you see change working directory. Change working directory. From here, choose directory. Choose directory, and it is there on desktop, and the name is DRS PLS-SEM. Just select it. See, now my directory is changed. Now you type get with upper arrow key. See what is my directory. Now all my work will be saved in this particular file, DRS PLS-SEM. And by the way, all of you just pay attention. The moment you change your working directory, see, now this is my working directory. Working directory means this is my file. This is my file where my all work will be saved. But if I open this file, I'll get all whatever that I've written is here. No? And now if you go to your RStudio and check the file in the plot window, there is a file. The moment you change the working directory, whatever files which are there in your directory, or for that matter folder, everything will come here. Everything will come here. And simply you need to click it, सब कुछ आ जाएगा यार. Data सब कुछ आ जाएगा. Shortcut. I think somebody asked me.
Sir, could you please explain it, the process again?
Okay. Should I explain what, sir?
Sir, the process of changing the directory.
Okay. Let me erase it, sir. Let me erase it. There is a command called getwd, sir. Just type it. You should check it. The moment you open your computer, no, just check the working directory. See, now I have changed the working directory to DRS PLS-SEM. But if I'll show you. Let me close this. Don't say. Again, let me open RStudio for love, sir. Okay. I'm once again opening the RStudio. Yes, and let me erase everything. This is a brush, by the way. You can erase everything. And let me press Control L. And let me type a command. Now pay attention. Love, sir. Play attention. Get with. So the moment you switch on your RStudio, no, by default it will save your work into its choice. Now I don't want my work, and now click on file here. So my C directory has all these files and folders. But I don't want my work to be saved according to the whims and fancies of RStudio. So what I'll do, I'll change the working directory. So love, sir, go to sessions. At the top, here is set working directory. Set working directory may choose directory. And in choose directory, click on desktop and see there is a file. I want my work. This is the file DRS PLS-SEM which I've created for this particular work. I'll select this and open it. And now see, automatically this set with. Okay. Actually, मालूम है? Now pay attention. Actually, you have to go and type this command. Then only R will listen. But now RStudio is so user friendly. Like you can use your mouse and set command.
So now this particular project and analysis will be saved in this folder, and
yes,
after reopening the same file will be copied in the same whatever the computer, like in the document file, again it will be saved.
Yeah, yes sir.
मतलब इसमें एक particular project ही save होगा आपका, always by default इसमें saving नहीं होगा.
Yes.
Particular project only.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, you're correct.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And now moment you say get with, see, this is all my project, rightly said by love, sir. that my project will be saved here. And now if you click file, so whatever files which are there in the directory will come here. See, this is the corporate reputation data which I've shared with you. If I simply click it, वो यहाँ पर आ जाएगा, पूरे R में आ जाएगा. No matter, even if this data contains 1 lakh information or it has 1 lakh observation, automatically it will come into RStudio. Simply by clicking here, I'm not clicking it right now because I'll teach you all this later on. Okay. The moment you open RStudio, first change the working directory, save your project wherever you want, rather than RStudio saving according to its own way. No, don't change the working directory. Yes, okay. Now, friends, what we'll do, we'll create matrix. तो देखो मैं कैसे करता हूँ. यहाँ पे मैं लिखता हूँ. Script window में you can save it. And now you can name the script window. If there is a save button, can you see? You can name this file. You can just name this file, anything, and it will be saved in your directory. वो file में आ जाएगा. But I'm not naming it. I'll teach you naming later on. Now see, I want to create a matrix. Create a matrix. By the way, can anybody tell me what is matrix? What is matrix? Rows and columns. Information.
Rows and columns.
When I say matrix, this is nothing but rows and columns. Information in rows and columns. Let me type everything so that, okay. So now I'm creating a matrix. See, I'll create matrix here and then bring it into console section. See what I'm creating. See, now there is a command called matrix. There is a command called matrix. matrix matrix. See, the moment I type matrix, RStudio ने एक window फेंक दिया. It send a window before us that, yeah, this is the command. There are so many commands in the name of this. You select this matrix. Now matrix, I want matrix, let's say from 1 to, let's say I want matrix from 1 to 15, n rows, which should have, let's say 5 rows, and let's say n col, which should have 3 columns. Yes. Again, don't get confused. Simply type here. See, please come here, console section, and type matr. Press enter. Means you can give question mark and matrix. You'll get the command here. See command क्या है? See the command. Matrix data. Data मैंने यहाँ पे दे दिया है 1 to 15. And row. How many rows you want? So I want 5 rows and I want 3 columns. Yes. Okay. So
N row or N rows, sir?
N row. Just a second. Upper arrow key, enter. It is N row. Yeah, Felix, very nice. See how keen observation he has. If I had done it, see, even if by mistake, if you type even one alphabet here and there, no, R will show error. So I am creating a matrix from 1 to 15, which should have 5 rows and 3 columns. And keep your cursor here and simply run. See, I got a matrix. Now, can you see how many rows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rows. How many columns are there? 1, 2, 3 columns are there. Yes. Now, let's say now see, when you type in your script window, no, you can save your work for future. In future, you need not type again and again. I will simply save it here and name the file, and it will automatically save in my directory. But I'm not saving it right now. And normally I don't write in script. I straight away write in console. Chota mota cheez I straight away write in console. But let's say I'll show you. I've shared the syntax. No, all of you just pay attention. I've shared this day 1 syntax. See, this syntax I've written for you. Tomorrow I will be running all this syntax and showing you PLS-SEM. Now such a big sentence I can't type it. I will forget. My cognition has limitation. No, I can't remember everything. See, matrix, data frame, basic arithmetic I can remember, but nobody can remember such big commands. So it is always better to write your script and save it and use it for future. Yes, I'm now removing this. Okay. Now all of you pay attention. Now friends, pay attention. Here see how numbers are arranged. Yes.
आप एक बार ये फिर से बता दोगे और इस बार प्लीज थोड़ा स्लो बताना.
No, सोनम क्या बताना चाहिए सोनम?
सर ये मैट्रिक्स जो आपने ड्रॉ किया ना ये
Okay.
तो आई वांट टू ये मेरा हो नहीं रहा तो प्लीज आप एक बार फिर से कर दीजिए.
Okay. Now Sonam, pay attention. Let me zoom it for Sonam. मैं थोड़ा सा zoom करता हूँ इसको. Yes. Okay. Sonam, pay attention. I don't require this, let's say, script window. Yes. Dr. Gandhali, I'll come to you. Let me address Sonam's query. I'll come to Dr. Gandhali. Just wait for a second. Now Sonam has a doubt. Can you
Sure,
repeat
sir.
matrix? Sonam, just pay attention. You simply type question mark and type that command matrix. देखो ये आ जाएगा matrix. See this, Sonam. See the command. मतलब see, this is the way you should write your command. Matrix. You should supply the data. Give the command for number of rows. Give the command for number of columns. इतना ही देखो फिलहाल. हाँ. Now let me clean this. So let's say I give the command matrix. Yes, matrix. Let's say I'm giving from 1 to 100. I want matrix from values 1 to 100, comma. See, copy from here. How many rows I want? Let's say I want n row equal to 10, comma, n col. See, automatically, see, R is giving me hint. Enter how many columns I want. Let's say I want 10 by 10, 10. Yes, and let me press enter. So now try this. Matrix, data, how many rows you want, you decide. How many columns you want, you decide. Yes, Dr. Gandhali, go ahead.
Hello, sir. Actually, my query is related with that. Ki whenever we are putting here, we are putting the data in matrix that is in a sequence. But what if when data is not in a sequence? मतलब 1 to 100 हमने यहाँ पे लिया है, लेकिन अगर not necessary ना कि जब हम analysis करते तो data 1 to 100 ही हो.
So let me try. I have never done this, but let me try. I'll press the upper arrow key, Gandhali, and let's say if I put a command seq and let sequence का क्या था? Let's say sequence I want, let's say 1 to 100 by gap of 2. Close the command. Let me type this. See, Dr. Gandhali, all numbers are changing now. It's
Sure,
not as
sir.
per sequence.
Actually, I was talking about कि अगर मतलब हमारा जो डेटाबेस फॉर एग्जांपल हमने इंटरवल स्केल पे डेटा लिया है और वो तो 1 to 5 होगा, लेकिन वो रैंडमली कैसे भी हो सकता है ना सर.
So then in that case, it is always better to import the Excel file into the machine, because manually typing will be very tedious.
That's true, sir.
Getting, and it's very easy to import the file, Dr. Gandhali, यहाँ से जाके Excel file उठा लेने का जहाँ भी रहे. Yes, okay.
Okay, sir, understood.
It's always better. See, because typing here, it will be very difficult. See, there are 3 ways by which you can deal with your data in RStudio. Either you type it, or you import a file, or third is there are inbuilt data set in R, which I will be showing. Typing everything will be very tedious. Now, just focus. If I can show you this particular file, friends, this DRS folder. I have given you this corporate reputation data. It's a secondary data, but it is collected somebody by, it's a primary data for somebody. So if see how much data set is this, it's a very big data. If I just press control all this thing, it has 44 observations. One is your first column, ignoring that. Such a big data. Can I bring into the machine? Yes, I can bring into the machine. Very easily, I can bring it to the machine. Yes, okay. So it is always better, Dr. Gandhali, when the volume of data is very big, take it in Excel and then bring it into the RStudio and perform all whatever operation that you do. Yes, manually there are limitations. So let me address Sonam's query. Sonam, hope you manage this, Sonam. Sonam, you manage this?
Yes sir. What I was doing is मैंने ना ऊपर स्क्रिप्ट में लिख दिया था फंक्शन और मैं नीचे ना सिंपली मैट्रिक्स टाइप करके एंटर एंटर प्रेस कर रही थी और वो एरर दिखाई जा रहा था.
Okay. Chalo, it's okay. Now see, here you see 1, 2, 3 is in a very vertical way. Now I don't want 1, 2, 3 in vertical way. I want 1, 2, 3 ऐसे चले horizontally. So here there is a command by row equal to, देखो दिख रहा है ना? I'll simply press the Gandhali, press the upper arrow key. Yes, and simply comma by row. ये by row मैंने कहाँ से लिखा? देखो यहाँ से लिखा है मैंने from the help section. And the moment you type by row, RStudio will give you a pop-up. Just click it and type T. And type T, press enter. See, can you compare the two metrics? Can you compare the two metrics visually? What's the difference between the two metrics? Yes.
Sir, rows change
Basically,
into columns
sir,
and
transpose
columns
हो
change
गया.
to rows. Transpose.
Somebody used a very nice term, transpose. Okay. By the way, I get very scared when technical terms are used. Transpose क्या हो गया? I think is Abhishek. Abhishek, what is transposed? Yes, Abhishek.
Sir, it is row into column and column into row, sir.
Now see, your data was in a vertical way. Now your data is in horizontal way. But transpose हो गया. Very nice term. Transpose हो गया. Very nice. Okay. So what did we learn so far? Come on. First, what we did? Come on. First, we performed basic arithmetic. Plus, minus, multiply, all this. Arithmetic. Hope I'm spelling is correct. Second, what we did? We created vectors. We created vectors. By the way, what is a vector? Vector is used to store a value. Storing values. Vector is used for storing values. Third, what we learned? How to create matrix. And the command for creating a matrix is matrix. This is the command matrix. Okay. See, these are basic. These are net practice. Because tomorrow we'll go for modeling. So we should know at least basic. See, again, I'm not telling you to master everything in R. Master only thing which you can use it and to work with real-time data and which you can use it for your research purpose. That's it. Okay. So matrix. Basic arithmetic, vectors, matrix. Now let's create data frame. Let's create data frame. Now again, what is data frame? Data frame is a special kind of matrix. What is data frame? It is a special kind of data frame is a special kind of matrix. Data frame is a special kind of matrix. See, if you focus on this matrix has no column. This matrix has no column. But data frame will have column name. So when you see the corporate reputation data, every column is named. There are columns which are having names. So let me create a data frame for you. See how will I create data frame? All of you just pay attention. Now see the magic. I'm creating a data frame. Now all of you just pay attention. See, let me take you to first this particular Microsoft Word, Microsoft Whiteboard. Let's say data frame is nothing but Excel. Yes, rows will have observation, columns will have variables. Rows will have observations, columns will have variables. Now, whenever you collect data through Google Form, and when you download the Google Form, in columns you find variables name, in rows you find observation 1, 2, 3. So let's say I want to create a data frame where I will have the ID number of students, I will have their name, I will have their gender, and let's say I will have their ID name of employee's name, gender, and their salary. Let's say I want to create this data frame in my R Studio. And let's say I want to create for 5 people. So let's say ID is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 names I will take, so and so, gender, male, female, all those things, and some salary. So I'm creating, see, all of you see how will I do? So first let me create ID. ID equal to C. Now, anything left-hand side of equal to is a vector. Anything left-hand side of equal to is a vector. So let me create ID. ID, let's say ID is, let's say 101. Type 101, 102, 103. Now instead of typing 101, 102, 103, I'll simply say 101 to 105, semicolon. Yes. Now can you see? See in the environment section. Now it is saying ID, which has values from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Values from 1, 2, 3, and 5. Now let's create name, N-A-M-E name. Let's create name. Let's take some 5 hypothetical name. Let's say Arif, and let's say Professor Love is there, Love, and we'll take Gandhali. Then we'll take let's say Kiran's name. By the way, all these people are active, and we'll take let's say Afreen name. Sonam is also there. Okay. So right now I can't take too much of names. So I'm taking 5 names. Yes. Okay. So yes. Press enter. Now what is happening? This is ID name. Again, vector is creating. See, Now you will have a question, sir. Why did you write names in double inverted comma? See, numbers you need not use inverted comma, but whenever your whenever you write name, it is a character data. See, data either it could be a numerical or it could be a character. So whenever you are using alphabet, actually that is a character data. Actually that is a character data. So ID over name over. After that, what we'll create? We'll get gender. Let's say we create gender. Gender. See, now gender again, male, female, hai na? So Arif, now again double inverted comma male. Love is male. Then we'll say female. Then say female. Then again we'll say female. Yes. Okay. Press enter. Now you see all vectors are created. All vectors are created. ID, name, gender, and lastly, let's say salary. Lastly, let's say salary. Let's give a very high salary to them because they are learning modeling. So the moment you learn modeling, your salary increases. Yes. At the moment you attend such advanced workshop, you give very good interviews because your research knowledge आपका अच्छा होता है. And I'll tell you, whatever investment that you have done in the form of workshop fees, it will give you many times return. Please mark this word. These are high quality workshops, and these are simply not workshops to get certificates. And I'll tell you, I have met a lot of accidental people in this country. Kiran, go ahead. Yes, Kiran, go ahead. Yes, Kiran.
Sir, what if I have 1,000 responses?
1,000 responses, then don't type Kiran. Bring in Excel. This was what Dr. Gandhali's question was there.
Okay.
So when you have 1,000, see, now we are just practicing it, so I'm typing it. But I will not recommend you to type every now and then. Huh? It's very tedious.
Okay.
When you have 1,000 data, or when you have lakh data, when you have 5 lakh data, bring it from Excel and put it here.
Okay, sir.
But now this we are learning in order to understand that tomorrow when we are doing modeling, this thing should not trouble. Tomorrow somebody should not ask me, sir, why have you used C? Sir, why have you used double inverted comma for character data? So all these things people should not use, not ask.
Okay.
So now salary, let's say salary, let's say Arif is earning. Arif is a research scholar, so he's earning 25,000. Don't put comma, 25,000. Let's say when I say hypothetical salary now, Love is a professor, so let's say he's earning a salary of 1.5 lakh. Gandhali is a professor, we'll give her 2 lakh salary. Yes, okay. Then Kiran is a research scholar. Kiran, you completed a PhD, by the way.
No, sir, I'm still at the
she's pursuing a PhD, so we'll give her. She's in a very good institute. We'll give her 75,000 rupees stipend. Huh? Okay. Then Afrin, again, she is a visiting faculty and a very good researcher, so we'll give her 80,000. Yeah. Okay. Don't, these are hypothetical numbers. Don't get personal about it. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Press enter. Salary. Okay. Now what I'll do, let me combine all these things. So there is a command called data frame. Data frames here. Data.frame, and just combine it. Combine it ID, comma, name. See, R is case sensitive or type properly. Name, gender, salary. Press enter. Can you see the data frame? Actually, this is Excel. Actually, this is Excel. ID, name, gender, salary. Yes, okay. Can you see this? Now what I'll do, this entire data frame, let me save in a vector. Call, let's say, DF. Now can you see? I have created a new vector called DF, which has 5 observations of 4 variables. Now simply if I type DF, I'll get the data frame. All of you just pay attention. Again, I'm showing. Sonam, pay attention. Now Sonam, initially what I did, I created vectors. ID, name, gender, salary. I created vectors. Yes. And then combine them using a data frame command. Data frame is by the way, it's a command. Yes. So data.frame, and just in the bracket write every vector that you created and press enter. Now what I can do, I can store this data frame in some vector. Let's say I'm creating a vector called DF. You can write your name also. My name is Arun. I can write Arun. And if I type Arun, you see automatically there is a new vector in the name of Arun. Arun, which has 5 observations of 4 variables. So the moment I type DF, it is reading. The moment I type Arun, it is reading. Yes. Can I overwrite it? RM, DF, comma, I can remove it. See now both the vectors removed, but I want everything back. So what I'll do? Yes. And simply type DF, yes. Now all of you just pay attention. All of you just pay attention. Now let's say I want to extract Professor Love's salary. How much salary Love is getting? How much salary Professor Love is getting? I want to extract. How should I extract? Simply type DF, box bracket. DF is vector. See the benefit of vector. Every now and then I will not type data dot frame, and I'll simply type DF. And by the way, where is Love? Love salary is here. It is in fourth column and second row. So I'll type now. See, this is the command rows and columns. So row is second, column is 4. And if I type enter, say I'm getting Love salary. So box bracket is used for extraction. Box bracket, it is used for extraction. Now let's say I want to extract what is the gender of 105. जो 105 ID का है उसका gender क्या है? The person who is having a ID 105, what is his or her gender? So what I'll do? Simply press the upper arrow key. Yes. Now which row 105 is there? It is in 5. So first I'll type 5. See, rows and columns. First row, then column. And next, in which column it is? It is in third column. Enter. So the gender of 105 ID is female. So create vector and use box bracket. You can extract what you want to extract. Data frame. By the way, whatever data that you collect in Excel itself is a data frame. I'll show you. Now tomorrow we'll work on this corporate reputation data. This is nothing but this is a data frame. Now Kiran was asking that when the data is huge, need not type it. Bring it in Excel. Bring this Excel and bring this data.
Sir,
Yes.
I want to say something. Sir,
Yes.
yesterday, even today also, I tried to import this data in R, but it shows some error.
Okay, I'll show you, Dr. Love. Dr. Love, I have changed my directory, you know now. I've changed my directory. First step, I changed my directory.
Yes.
Now, can you see this data, corporate reputation data? Yeah.
Quite visible, sir.
Simply click it. Import data set. Import data set. And simply say import. See all data.
Must be some problem of internet.
See all data. No, internet is not required. All my data, Dr. Love, see all my data is here. Kiran, see, this is, I think, 344 observations.
Sir, yes. Quite visible to everyone.
So now I'll clean the screen and simply I'll attach this data. The name of the file is corporate. उसे पकड़ लिया इसने पूरा पकड़ लिया RStudio पूरा पकड़ लिया. And let's say I want to extract service provider. So simply type service. See, first column is there in the console section. Calculate mean service provider. I'm getting mean 2. By the way, it's a categorical data. It's meaningless to calculate mean of categorical data. Loveji, just a click of button. Even if you have 1 lakh data set, Loveji, it can come in RStudio with just a click of a button. I'll show you once again. See how I did.
Yes, sir. I have used with the previous some files in R. And I've used for frontier analysis. R I have used for frontier analysis and Malmquist analysis also.
Okay. Very good. So you are very advanced level you are operating.
No, sir, I'm not in advanced, sir. Somehow I managed the coding all. So I have done the analysis, research.
It's very simple. See, change your directory and whatever files and folders which are there in directory, it will be available in here. You simply need to go. Again, I'll show you. All of you just pay attention. See, this is one method. Click here, import. And second method is here, import data set. And it's a CSV file. CSV file, you should use this base. And where it is corporate reputation data, open. Here you say yes. Means column. I don't want V1, V2. Column name is already there. Yes. And simply import. You see? See, all data is there in my RStudio. Yes, all data is there in my RStudio. Simple,
And
simple.
sir, what was the first method, sir?
First method, okay, let me remove this. Let me control L. Let me RM. Let me remove this corporate reputation. Yes, sir, can you see here? See my cursor, sir. Fourth window,
Yes, sir,
plot
yes, sir.
window. Just click here. Import. Import. Automatically, sir, came here.
Okay,
You got
sir,
it,
thank
sir?
you.
Again, just click here. Just keep your command. Just click here. Slightly click here. Import data set.
Sir, if we have not done this like change of the directory, so we have
Ah.
to go for import of the data set
If you have
straight
not changed the
away
directory, then you should
from
select here.
environment.
From environment.
So that's why it was showing the error when I did from environment
Because
section. So it showed me
see,
error.
environment section, you see what is the file? Is it a CSV file, read Excel file? See, sometimes, see, Lavji, what is the problem? No, there is one package called read Excel. Sometimes, no, the first time when you download the RStudio, no, so many packages are not installed. So that's why R find it difficult to read. That's see, RStudio, in my knowledge, no, it's very comfortable with CSV file. CSV file.
Yes, sir. Always the results even comes in CSV.
So that's why now you should change your file from Excel to CSV and then use this command, first one.
Okay.
And simply click here automatically. Say yes. Import. This is importing file. This is importing file. Hope everybody is understanding. Hope everybody is understanding.
No, sir, no, please come again.
Vanita, you understanding? Vanita?
Got
No,
it, sir.
Okay.
no, sir, my network, I'm having a network issue, so I can't able to understand it. Could you please
No,
come again, sir?
what you didn't understand, Vanita?
By opening this page again, right? I have a network issue last 5 minutes, so I didn't understand anything in this.
Acha, okay. You didn't understanding what happened in the last 5 minutes. Okay, Vanita, listen to me carefully. Last 5 minutes, actually, we were discussing how to import a file. Now, Vanita, just pay attention. How to import a file. Now, Vanita, you know that I have changed my working directory in RStudio. The first thing that you should do is to change your working directory, Vanita. Now, there is a file which is there in my working directory called corporate reputation. Now, I want this corporate reputation data file into my RStudio. How to do it? Simply click here, Vanita. Plot window, there is corporate reputation data, Vanita. Just click it and say import data set. The moment you say import data set, this window will pop up. Everything is fine. Simply say import. The moment you say import, your entire data, Vanita, it is there in RStudio. Hope you understood this much, Vanita.
Yes,
Vanita?
yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. See,
Yes, yes.
See, right now, actually, it was just a query. Actually, I was not supposed to teach you import file today. I would have done that maybe some other time. But there was a query by one of the participants, Professor Love. So that's why I explained it. Yeah, okay. Okay. Then let me remove this corporate reputation data because I'm not working on it. No? Again, there are two files, it seems, corporate reputation. Yes, Control L. Yes, okay. And before this, what we did, Dr. Vanita, we created a data frame. DF. We created a data frame.
So this I know, sir. This I know. The data frame I know. I worked on it.
Data frame, and then we can extract particular observation. Let's say I want to extract entire data of, let's say, participant number 101. So what should I do? Simply type df box bracket and let's say rows 1 comma, enter 1 comma, and don't write anything after column. Simply said 1 comma. I want all the data of let's say first row. Let's say I want all the data of row number 5. So simply type 5 comma, enter. Yes. Let's say I want all the data of column number 3. So column number 3 means comma 3. Gender. Yes. Okay. Yes. As simple as this. As simple as this. So okay. So what have we learned? First, we learned basic arithmetic. Basic arithmetic. Second, what we learned? we learned how to create vectors. By the way, vectors is used to store value. Yes. Third, what we learned how to create a matrix. Fourth, what we learned how to create a data frame and to extract, how to create a data frame and how to extract. Fifth, what we learned how to import a file, import an external file, import external file, import external file. Yes. So these 5 things we have learned. Okay. Now I'll show you some magic. I'll show you some magic. Some magic. Just a second. Just give me a 2 minutes break. Somebody's knocking. Maybe a 30-second break. Somebody's knocking at my door. Just nobody's there. Just give me a 30. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Hope everybody is there. Hope everybody is there. So numbers are dwindling. I think 3 people are not there from the previous session. So should we begin? Should we begin? Hello? Should we begin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now all of you
Yes.
just be glued to screen. I'll teach you something very important. Something very important. Now you simply type data in your bracket close. The moment you type data bracket close, enter, here you will get lot many data set that is there in the R Studio. These are data set which is there in the R Studio for you to practice. Time series data, experimental data, longitudinal data. Every data is there. You know who is father of statistics? Father of statistics? Anybody? Father of statistics is Sir R.A. Fisher. Very good, Karthik. Even R.A. Fisher, his data is there, Iris data. R.A. Fisher, person who invented statistics, his data is here. This is Iris data. It is by Professor R.A. Fisher. His data is there in the R Studio. You know, Titanic ship sank somewhere in 1912, 1913. Even that data is there. Titanic, I'll show you. Titanic. Can you see this? Titanic. Survival of passengers on the Titanic. By the way, Rose survived and Jack, he lost his life. This is what we have been taught in that, or what we have been fed in our head from the Titanic movie. Yes? Okay. So this is Titanic data. So simply if I type Titanic, Titan लिखो समझ जाएगा. Simply write TIT. The beauty of R Studio is that immediately it throws pop-up. That's why R Studio is user-friendly. Our base package is not user-friendly. And simply press enter. See, this is the Titanic data set. Titanic data set. So it talks about age, child, sex. So in first class, people who were in first class all died. People who were in second class all died. All poor people, third class. उसमें सब बच गए. So that movie is false, no? No, movie is true, because that girl Rose, she was there with Jack and she went to third class. That's why she saved. So probably that movie on 1997 movie, and every night in my dreams, that beautiful song by Selena Dion. Yes, that movie is true. Third class may all people survived. By the way, after Titanic sank, there were lot many conventions which were decided how should international traffic take place, particularly on seas. When rich people die, you see major policy implication happens. When poor people die, not much policy implication happens. 26/11/2008, Taj Hotel and Oberoi Hotel, this terrorist attack happened in India, in particular in Mumbai. And you see the places which were attacked, though poor people were killed also. And see, life is life, whether rich or poor, life is life. Let's not discriminate on the basis of person's economic status in the society. But 192 people were killed as per official records in 26/11. And Oberoi Hotel, even the founder of Yes Bank, Rana Kapoor के साथ जिसने Yes Bank बनाया था, even he was killed in Oberoi Hotel. So 192 people were killed, and see how the country reacted at that time, and see how security systems were refined. Now, if you go to Taj Hotel, or for that matter, Oberoi Hotel, it's there in Marine Drive, very close to my. I mean, I live in the suburb of Mumbai, but it's very close, maybe 1 hour or 1.5 hour distance. That area is so full of security. So poor people also die, but what I mean to say is that when rich people die, no, you'll see major policy shifts happen in lot many spheres. Okay, this is true. When Titanic sank, after that there were lot many conventions which were decided how international traffic will take place in open seas. You just read about it. If you, I met one Navy person. He was a merchant Navy person, and he came to talk about so many things, and he gave example of Titanic there, and he talked about how international conventions on seas were decided after Titanic ship sank. And you see maximum people in the first class, not a single person survived from first class. Titanic ka data hai, guys, friends. Now again, there is one beautiful data empty cars which I used to teach regression. There is one data empty cars. It is there. You can find it out. Empty car data. Empty car data is there. Empty car data is there. There is somewhere empty car data. Just search it in M. This is empty cars data. This is empty cars data. It is there. Just search it out. It will help you. Yes. Okay. Empty cars data. Yes. Okay. Then there is one tooth growth data, experiment data. Again, my favorite research is experiment. Tooth growth. Yani, some pigs were given lens, supplements, and doses, and their tooth growth was measured. Very good data. Explore it. Wonderful data. Wonderful data. You should explore it. I normally use this data to teach parametric test, ANOVA and ANPOVA and all those things and all. Okay. Now, friends, all of you pay attention. There is one data called empty cars. All of you just pay attention. Can you see this data empty cars before you? Hello. Say yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Empty cars. Now let's say
Yes, sir.
I want to extract this MPG column. Can I extract? Let me type MPG. Enter. What is it telling me? Object MPG not found. What should I do? I want to only extract MPG from the file. Now there are two methods. Either you type empty cars $, and the moment you say $, R samajh gaya baba, ye ek data mang raha hai. And simply press MPG, and now you see MPG is extracted. So file $MPG. Again, empty cars $, extract whichever you want. Let's see, you want to wait. You can wait. But this is very tedious method. Who will type again file $, then tuck. Simply attach the file. Simply attach the file. Use the function attach. Now I will use this attach function very heavily. Now, whenever you use attach function, you can play with every particular column. So attach empty cars. Vanita, please do with me. Sonam, please do with me. Dr. Gandhali, please do with me. Yes, Arif ji, please do with me. Yes, okay. Attach empty cars. The moment I attach empty cars, now simply type MPG. Enter. Simply type WT. Enter. Simply type QSEC. enter. Simply type HP, enter. Okay. So attach is a function. See, either there are two methods, empty cars, dollar, and particular file, particular column, or attach empty cars. Now, friends, all of you just pay attention. Just pay attention. Now, let's say I want to find, let's say MPG, mileage per gallon. By the way, if you want to see about this data, just a second. Control L, question mark, empty cars, enter. The moment is a question mark empty cars, see in the plot window, this data, it is motor trend car road test. The data was extracted from the 1974 Motor Trend US magazine and comprises fuel consumption and 10 aspects of automobile. So all these variables are there. MPG stands for miles per gallon. SCY stands for, see, this is how variables are defined. All variables are defined. Yes, okay. Now, what do you think? What will be the relation between mileage and horsepower of a car? See, trucks, all heavy vehicles.
Inversely proportional, sir.
See, two-wheelers have very good mileage, but four-wheelers have poor mileage. Why? Because the horsepower in heavy vehicles or four-wheelers is more. So you should expect that the correlation between mileage and horsepower will be in negative relation, negative correlation. Vanita, please understand. Vanita and others pay attention. Let me go slow. Let me check mileage per gallon. This is my MPG data. And let me type HP. Now I want to check, let me erase everything. Upper arrow key, MPG, upper arrow key, HP. Now I want to find correlation between MPG and HP. How should I do correlation? See, please understand, correlation only finds out whether two variables are related or not. Correlation will not tell you anything about what causes what. Correlation is not causation. Yes. Now, if I want to find correlation between MPG and horsepower, the command is COR. The moment I type COR, R is popping up. COR and write MPG, comma, HP. Enter. What is the correlation? There is a negative, there is a very strong negative correlation between mileage and horsepower. Means as the horsepower increases, mileage goes down. So there is a strong negative relationship between mileage and horsepower. So if you want to improve the mileage of a car, you need to reduce the horsepower. Now, but see, I'm getting a negative correlation between mileage and horsepower, but I'm not getting a p-value. Because let's say if I'm testing a statistics, I require a p-value. So to get p-value, there is a separate command core.test. Core.test. Press enter MPG, HP. Here you will get a p-value. Here you get it. See, this is Pearson's product moment correlation. This is nothing but R, nomological validity. Yesterday I was talking about this. This is my T value. If T is greater than 1.96, null reject. See, minus plus doesn't make difference. If T is greater than 1.96, null hypothesis reject. This is degrees of freedom n minus 1. This is P value. The P value is less than 0.05. The moment you see E, it means this is a very small value, less than 0.05. So if my probability is less than 0.05, I will reject null. What is null hypothesis? Null will say there is no relationship between mileage and horsepower. See, let me write null hypothesis. Null will say H0. Null kya bolega? There is no relationship between MPG and HP. And what alternative will say? H1, H12 will say, let me press upper arrow key, go back, make it H1, and I'll say there is a negative relationship. This is one tail test. Negative relationship between MPG and horsepower. So my T is greater than 1.96, automatically reject the null. See, how do you reject the null? Either you see the There are three ways by which you reject null hypothesis. See the t value, see the p value, and see the confidence interval. Zero should not lie between confidence interval. Minus के बीच में zero नहीं आ रहा है. Second, p value should be less than 0.05, and third is this should be greater than 1.96. So all three indicators, T, P, and confidence interval are suggesting that null is rejected, and there is a strong evidence in favor of alternative hypothesis. Got it? How to calculate correlation? Please calculate correlation between. Please, now this is homework. Calculate correlation. Come on, do this with me. Calculate correlation between MPG and weight. Come on, tell me. Come on. Just calculate. Apply core command and apply core dot test. First apply COR, and then you'll apply core dot test. Core dot test. Apply these two commands and show me the result. Come on. Hello. Come on. Yes, let me see. Yes. Okay. Go ahead. Yes. Who are there? Yes, Abhishek, Dipali, Dr. Gandhali, Felix ji, Gopi, Priyanka, Hemant, Kartike, Lavji, Arif, Priyanka Babu, Sonam, Tushar, Vanita. Yes, calculate correlation between MPG and weight. Come on, by the two commands. One is core and second is core dot test. Come on, quickly. Come on, quickly.
Done, sir.
Kartike, what is correlation between MPG and weight? Correlation between what is correlation, Kartike?
Sir, minus 0.867659.
Let me check. Yes, there is a strong negative correlation. And let us apply core dot test. Core dot. Hope you are getting this result.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
My friend Felix. Felix, go ahead. Yes, Felix.
The correlation when we use core test, it is minus 0.8676. And p value is significant since it is less than 0.05. The value I get is 1.294 e to the power of minus 10.
Yes. So it means it's a very small value. It is your p value is less than 0.05. Reject the null.
Yes, sir. I'm using Apple Mac, and it is old 2016 Mac, and I'm not able to install RStudio. So I installed R, and as we were taking the first session, I tried many things, and many older versions did not set. And finally, I installed. I opened Google Colab, and now I'm able to parallelly work as you are saying, sir. Same command I'm trying, sir, and I'm getting this message.
You're getting the result, no? Good. Keep it up. Thank you. Yes. Now let us check who. Yes. You can lower down your hand. Yes. Anybody else? Hope everybody is able to do it. Yes. Okay. Hope everybody is able. Hope everybody is able.
It means everything. All the hypothesis depends on the p value. So what is the significance of right now? What is the significance of this confidence interval and t right now here?
Okay, sir. See, first of all, MPG and weight. Let me erase this. Forget about core dot test. Focus on this commands. So when you type core dot test, you will get a p value, and p value is a measure by which you reject or fail to reject the null hypothesis, sir. Now focus. This is my t. Now this is data MPG and weight. I'm checking the correlation between the two. Looking at the t value itself, we should reject the null hypothesis. If t is greater than 1.96, reject the null. What is null? Null says no relationship. Reject. Actually, see, by seeing the number itself, you can make out very strong negative correlation. Look at the number. Jitna 1 ke kareeb aayega, utna the closer it comes towards 1, it's a strong correlation. So here you see there is a strong negative correlation between MPG and weight. Means as weight increases, mileage comes down. Or as weight comes down, mileage will increase. There is an inverse relationship between mileage and weight, sir. By looking at the t value, see, you need not focus on what happened suddenly. Escape. ऐसा कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया, escape. See, my mistake, something was pressed, and what happened suddenly? No, something happened.
Sir, so
Sir, that is quite clear. Like values always lie in between -1 to +1.
Yes, -1 to
If
+1.
if there is a zero value, it means there is no relationship between these two.
Yeah,
A
yeah, sir.
correlation lies between, if the values are negative, it means negative correlation. If the positive,
Yes,
then
yes,
positive
exactly,
correlation.
sir. Exactly. But I am wondered what has happened to my suddenly R. ये क्या
And
हो गया ये?
T, according to
Sir, please
statistics, sir, T
open
value
the tab
shows
of
when there are
console.
two
You have
waves.
to open the tab of terminal.
No. Something no. Actually, when I was talking to Dr. Love, कुछ तो यहाँ ऊपर कुछ बटन गलती से दब गया.
Sir, in the downward window now, you have opened the terminal. It should be in console, I think.
Where download window?
Not
But
not
doesn't
in the
matter.
down.
See, I'll cancel it, and I will once again I'll do. Don't worry. See, I'll attach here. Huh? See, attach. Loveji, you are perfectly fine. What you said is correct. See, this node doesn't give you pop-up R base package, MPG and WT weight and core dot test MPG dot WT. Yes. So Dr. Love was correct. The value of correlation falls between -1 to +1, and closer to -1 suggests strong relationship. See, again, no, see, first of all, I'm not obsessed in teaching you stats right now. Please mark my what I'm trying to say. I just want you to understand how R runs. I'm not here as of now to focus more on stats part.
Sir, my question was little different, sir. Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Sir, my question was little different, sir. I want to know that what is the this, because p value, I understood everything, but you told me that on the basis of this value, if the value is less than or more than 0.05, then we'll reject or accept the hypothesis, or we go for alternative hypothesis. Whatever we have framed earlier before this study. Okay, before conducting this study, we prepare already. These are kind of assumption. But sir, what is the confidence interval, on what basis, on this value, what we judge actually?
See, okay. Loveji, let me ask you a question that I was giving an interview at one place. Somebody asked me, how was your feedback? आपको बच्चे feedback कैसे देते हैं? Somebody asked me in an interview. So I said, I was not prepared for this question. I said, students always give me 8.5 out of 10. Actually, I always had a good feedback in my college. So when you say 8.5, every time people give you 8.5. Sometimes people would have given you 7. Sometimes people would have given you 9.
Correct,
so it is always better to ask. If somebody asks you how much feedback students give you, so you should tell between, let's say, 7 to 10. So confidence interval.
It means a range.
It's a range. Means
Okay, sir.
This value,
okay, sir.
It will fall is between this. See, this value. If this value is falling between this, then reject the null.
Okay, sir. Understood, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Again, see, friends, I am not. It's a very good observation, Loveji. Thank you for asking this. Nobody has ever asked me this question. But see, what I'm saying, that I'm not teaching you statistics as of now. Statistics are
very true, sir. Very true, sir. Actually, the question actually was.
I want every one of you to understand how R functions. Now let's say I want to run a regression, friends. Regression. Now see, let's say I want to understand the influence of weight on. See, regression. See, all of you just pay attention. See what regression is used for. Regression is used to check influence. Is used to check influence. Regression we always used to check the influence of one variable on the other. Regression is always used to check the influence of one variable on the other. Now let's say I want to check the influence of horsepower on mileage. What is the influence of horsepower on mileage? Now whenever you run regression, you will get R square and beta, constant, all those things. So the command is LM. The command is linear model. LM. MPG is my dependent variable. Always start with dependent variable. LM MPG. Wave symbol. Wave money tilde symbol, which is below escape. And type HP. Command enter. Sorry. इसको मैं वेक्टर में डालता हूँ. See, by the way, यहाँ पे मुझे कुछ मिला है. I have got something. This is my intercept. That is beta naught, and this is my beta 1. Yes. Okay. Now, if I simply press the upper arrow key and save this in a vector A, press enter and let's type summary A. By the way, summary is a command which we use very heavily. Yes. See, I've got an output. Again, let me show you what I've done. Upper arrow key. This is the command. LM. LM stands for linear model. MPG depends upon horsepower. Enter. Okay. Again, this is the command. I will put it in a vector called A. And next, I'm going to type the summary command. Now see. These are my residuals. Residuals means residuals means the difference between observed variable and predicted variable. That is residuals. And in regression, there is one assumption that your residuals should be normally distributed. In regression, there is no assumption that your data should be normally distributed. Whenever you run a regression, the assumption is your error term should be normally distributed. Forget about all those things. This is my intercept and this is my HP. This is my independent variable HP and this is significantly predicting MPG. My HP is significantly predicting the variance in weight and this is my R square. R square is 60%, decent R square. R square is decent and adjusted R square is 0.58. And this is F statistics and this is significant. It means model is good. F statistics का कोई मतलब नहीं होता है, ये P value का मतलब होता है. Yes, means my horsepower is significantly explaining the variance in mileage. Hope it makes sense. Hope it makes sense. Hope it makes sense. Okay, hope it makes sense. Loveji, hope you understood. Hello. Hello. Yeah, am I there in class or what?
Got it, sir.
Got it, sir.
Okay. So let me stop sharing. I think it will be overdose and people are like, it's a time for having your dinner and all. So what we'll do, we'll meet tomorrow and we'll learn. See, today, please, don't panic and don't be anxious if you have not understood anything. It happens that people are at different level of evolution and people are learning according to their own pace. It can so happen that many of you might not have understood. But relax, even if you have not understood. Yes, tomorrow we'll do some sort of practice. And then we'll see, my aim is to explain all statistics related to PLS-SEM. So tomorrow I'll start with PLS-SEM. Before that, I will also give you some hands-on practice, maybe some 15-20 minutes on R. And then we will run PLS-SEM analysis. And first day syntax I've uploaded. So tomorrow we'll use that syntax. I'll show you step by step. I will gradually explain to you. So maybe I'll take 1 or 2 queries, then we'll wind up the session. Yes, okay. And I'll upload the recording on the YouTube. You can access it. Yes, okay. Any query, any doubt? No. Shall we call the day? Shall we call the day? Yes. Let's call the day. Let's call the day. Bye. Hope tomorrow we are meeting at 6 o'clock. Hope to see you all. Bye, Tushar. Bye, Dr. Gandhali, Priyanka, Abhishek, Sonal,
Thank you, sir.
Deepali,
Yeah,
Karthikeyan, Mohammad Arif, Vanita, Priyanka, Felix sir, all of you. Bye. Take care. Let's see you tomorrow.
Bye, sir. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.